RPN is not responsible for the views, actions, opinions, statements, or anything else from its guests, advertisers, or viewers. The information on this program is responsible for the views, actions, opinions, statements, or anything else from its guests, advertisers, or viewers. The information on this program is responsible for the views, actions, opinions, statements, or anything else from its guests, advertisers, or viewers. The information on this program is responsible for the views, actions, opinions, statements, or anything else from its guests, advertisers, or viewers. The information on this program is responsible for the views, actions, opinions, statements, or anything else from its guests, advertisers, or viewers. The information on this program is responsible for the views, actions, opinions, statements, or anything else from its guests, advertisers, or viewers. The information on this program is. All right, we're trying this one more time. I don't know why the echo was coming through, but we are not responsible for the things you think or the things you say. We're trying this one more time. I don't know why the echo was coming through, but we are not responsible for the things you think or the things you say. We're trying this one more time. I don't know why the echo was coming through, but we are not responsible for the things you think or the things you say. We're trying this one more time. I don't know why the echo was coming through, but we are not responsible for the things you think or the things you say. We're trying this one more time. All right, guys, I got to figure it out. I had a secret window that was open and it was giving us the echo from the stream. Yes, I am so sorry. Tommy G is with us tonight. I have everything worked out now. Please do me a favor. Don't forget to like and share this broadcast. Help us break through the algorithm. And here we go. A hiker from California was recently rescued after being stranded in Joshua Tree National Park for 40 hours with a broken leg. Cases like this is exactly why I carry the backup solar bank. The backup solar bank provides me with unlimited energy because it's powered entirely by solar panels. It's perfect for emergencies, including a powerful 20,000 milliamp battery and convenient wireless charging for my cell phone. You can get 20% off using the promo code in the description, REDPILL20, and free shipping on your own backup power bank by going to backupsolarbank.com or by clicking the link in the video description below or the pinned comment. And remember, when you support my sponsors, you support this channel. Oh, honey, I wish I knew what the heck was happening. For some reason, everything is switched and it isn't working properly. But now we're going to stay on the center screen this whole time and it will be good for the rest of the show. Thank you to everybody who is joining us tonight. But most importantly, thank you very much to Tommy G for joining us as well. Tommy, what's going on, brother?
I'm not drinking today for you, Zach, because this is the first show you'll ever see me on where I'm actually drinking water.
Good,
for the
good.
simple fact that I don't want to be cursing as much on your show.
Well, I certainly appreciate it. Much obliged. So this is a timely interview, Tommy, because we've been planning this for a little while, had no idea what was coming up in the future, but we recently had one of many purges. So you lost your Twitter account, your blue checkmark Twitter account, and a lot of other patriots out there lost their Twitter accounts as well. Before we get into all of that, I want the audience to get a feel for who you are. I mean, where did you come from? Because until, very recently, having that blue checkmark, that was a really interesting and unusual thing to have in this movement.
Yeah, so I started my career, as a lot of people who followed me may or may not know, in the Wall Street world. So I graduated from Villanova, came out with a double major, finance and economics, got into Wall Street, stock trading, day trading, did all that, robbed a bank, then went back to...
Wait a second. Did you literally rob a bank?
Yeah, you can hear all the fun stuff on the last podcast. I won't bore you with too much of it now. We can get into it. But so then I got into started a school where I was teaching people how to trade stocks, and that was basically how I was making my living. DraftKings and FanDuel came around, which I'm sure a lot of the listeners are familiar with, and I realized that was day trading athletes. So I saw that was a booming business. It was about to take off. So I actually pivoted my whole entire career, gave up a $500,000 a year job to start a fantasy sports company, and got a show on Sirius XM. Won a bunch of money, was in the New York Post, was in a documentary, like a bunch of stuff that really took off quicker than I thought. And then I got the check mark from being on Sirius XM. So when I had the radio show, a lot of people when I first got into, this world were like, "You're a psyop, you have a check mark." And no, it's from sports gambling. I'm a professional sports gambler and fantasy analyst. That's where it came from. But yeah, and then I've been doing the conspiracy stuff. I've been studying the deep state for 20 years. I'm not new to this with Q or with any of this stuff in March. It's just when sports stopped in March, quarantine happened, and I have, a few different skills, stocks, sports, conspiracy, and girls. And girls were locked down. The stock market I was still doing. Sports stopped. So my Twitter basically became a full-on truther page. And that's why I think a lot of people think I came out of nowhere with this in March. But no, I've been studying this forever. It's just, it overwhelmed my timeline at that point, and I now had time to write threads and do that kind of stuff. Whereas before I was studying wide receiver statistics and, pitcher XFIP and velocity breakdowns. Hold on. What's everyone saying muted? Everyone's saying muted. Do you see that? What's that? What does that mean? He's not muted.
All right. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? It's not muted, guys. It's not actually muted. It's not actually muted. It's not actually muted. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh, man. You hear me? You can't hear me. It's still muted.
Yep. The ups are coming in.
Okay, you can hear me now. All right, guys. Yeah. I was not muted. Once again, I think I need to get a new mic. I don't know what's going on. All right. So what I was saying is that it was cool to watch, okay? Because suddenly I remembered seeing all of these posts from you. You were doing great research, putting out some real wallopers, and you had this effect that a lot of accounts don't necessarily have right off the bat because you had that blue check mark. So it was really cool to see. And I saw you on True Reporting. That was when I first really started getting into you. And then, shortly after that, we became friends. And then, and here we are today. But what was the first thing that got you into researching things outside of the normal purview of research? What was it that red pilled you?
You mean back in the day?
Oh, yeah, all the way back in the day.
Yeah, all the way back. So it was really 9/11. This was 2001. And I know a lot of this community is very young. Some of them are, a little bit older. I'm 41. But, this was like, 20 years ago. And being that I live within a stone's throw from New York and I study finance, a lot of the stuff didn't add up. A lot of things weren't making sense. The insurance policies that were taking out, Tower 7, we all dug into it a little deeper here in the New York, New Jersey area than I think the rest of the country did, right? So we all were conspiracy theorists because everyone whose family members died, we all knew someone who died. And everyone was kind of digging in like, how does this happen? How can this take place? How could I lose my uncle? How could I lose my friend? And whenever you have a family member or a friend or someone close to you lost in a situation like that, your natural instinct is to dive head first to try and find it. If you've ever watched the serial killer documentary on Netflix, the people who've lost someone to a serial killer are the ones who usually spend their whole lives trying to find it. So I think this whole area got red pilled And then when I started following the money as a stock trader, I started to realize this was most likely an inside job. Things didn't make sense. Buildings don't fall like that. And that's really what took me into it. But as a stock trader, as I got deeper into it, I actually used to make my living on conspiracy theories, because people would at Goldman Sachs and companies like that, when we used to day trade, there was something called a level 2 screen where you could see the buyers and the sellers, and you could see Goldie, as we called him, jump in on the bid. And whenever you saw Goldman fly in to buy, it's a very short-term, few-minute period, you would go and buy with them. So you didn't need to know what was going on, why they were buying it. You just knew if they were buying the stock, it was going to jump 10 cents, and then you get out when they get out. So that's kind of a, rabbit hole conspiracy theorist, right? You're just waiting on the big bad financial institution to manipulate the stock. So it's always been like that for me. So I really started in a financial world and then evolved to the stuff you're seeing today.
What other kind of stuff did you see in the financial world? I mean, because obviously we had that huge meltdown in 2008, and I think that for a lot of people, that was when they really were got the confirmation that the whole financial world was rigged. If they thought that it was rigged before, they got the confirmation there in 2008. But, because I think about Richard Grove and his experience on 9/11. He worked in one of those buildings at Marshall McLennan. He had been scheduled to go to a meeting there, and then he got caught in traffic, and then he saw everything go down. Did you witness any other improprieties there when you were on Wall Street?
I made the most money I've ever made in my entire life in 2008 when the market crashed, because I knew it was coming. And this is from, this was 7 years now into, the financial world and studying all this. I'd made friends with a lot of big clients and people that I was actually educating and teaching how to day trade, because it's very different from a hedge fund and a financial planner to a day trader. So all the guys I knew, literally to a man, almost everyone that we would go to happy hour with after, the markets closed, all of them were talking about these mortgage-backed securities and how the market's going to crash. All of them were pulling their money out. CEOs were dumping their own stocks. I told everyone I was about to buy my first house for $500,000 at that time, 2007. And I was begged not to by every single person in the financial industry I got close with after, no pun intended, but about 4 drinks deep. But, that's literally where it actually started, the 4 drinks deep thing. But they all would just leak. And that's when I started to realize this whole entire system is rigged. There is nothing real. And everything, whether you're talking about pedophilia, sex trafficking, the financial world, the election, it all boils down to money. If you can follow the money and find out where someone's profiting from this, you can get the answer to everything. But yeah, I'm not embarrassed to say it. I'm not sad to say it. I took advantage of an anomaly. I knew something was going on. And instead of just sitting there and bitching about it, I went and profited from it and made like 7 figures that year. So it sucks, but it's what we did back on Wall Street.
Now, going back to New York after 9/11, what percentage of the people there in the area would you say were truly on to the fact that something else had happened? I mean, I always think about Shanksville, Pennsylvania. I wonder what the people who live in Shanksville think about what happened, because on that first day, seeing that picture of that scar in the middle of the earth and there's no plane parts or anything like that, or looking at the Pentagon, realizing, there's no engines. I mean, it's just a bunch of pieces of scrap. I mean, was it the majority of people, or was it a select few that were willing to look into it?
I was a Democrat when I was younger. This will tie in. I was a Democrat when I was younger. I've had a saying along with all the Wall Street guys that I worked with, no one's a conservative until you have something to conserve, right? Mm-hmm. So I was very liberal. I was very socially liberal, pro-gay marriage, pro-legalized weed, like let people do what they want. Became a Republican, hardcore Republican through Wall Street, because everyone else was a Republican and I was young and I wanted the Lamborghini they had and the mansion they had. So I did and liked whatever they liked and said. So I think part of the reason why a lot of the people in my world didn't really think there was a conspiracy theory around it is because they were so pro-Bush and they were so Republican at that point that they kind of were saying, this is a terror attack. They were digging into it. They were trying to understand it. But the people who weren't losing immediate family members and weren't digging down the rabbit holes the rest of us were, I think they were kind of blind to it, just saying, Bush wouldn't let this happen. He's a Republican. We're Republicans. So that political bias, I think, slanted the people I was in a circle with from really believing that there was something wrong, until a couple of years later when anomalies really started. I think Tower 7 is really like Eddie Bravo says, like at the amusement park, you have to be this tall to ride. Mm-hmm. Like Tower 7 is that breaking point. Like if you understand Tower 7, you could ride on our ride. If you don't, keep researching, and we'll see on the flip side.
It makes it pretty obvious. So, I mean, you mentioned robbing the bank. Can we go into that real quick? I mean, like, I'd love to understand that. I mean, and does that tie into to being a broker? Is that what you mean, or was this
Listen, it's all part of my life. So, I'm an open book. That's what happened on Twitter. For those that don't know, the reason I got banned from Twitter is, and most people in my industry knew about it. I've been an open book about all this. I've been an open book about my past. There was a lot, and I go through the long version, not to plug it here.
No, that's fine. Please.
Yeah, I mean, I might as well, because I don't have a Twitter anymore to plug it. The No Mercy podcast, you guys should check it out. The last episode I did about an hour breakthrough. It was like the Tommy G True Hollywood story, where I broke down what caused everything to happen, the Will Summers thing, the Twitter ban, and all that. So make sure you check that out. It's totally uncensored, a lot of cursing, and very out in the open. But yeah, I mean, when I was young, my dad left when I was very little. He was a bad father. In case I ever get doxxed, like you know who, I do have the devil on my arm tattooed, but it's me with a gun to his head because it's my father representative. But yeah, my dad was not a good guy, and it was bad, and a lot of abuse. My mom, me, and my brother was always very shy and quiet, and he left. He took off when I was very young. So I've been a street kid my whole life. We had to do what we have to do. And I grew up in a kind of middle class area. I didn't grow up in like a poor town. So we were really poor for the town we were in. Like everyone was driving Beamers and Mercedes. And I had a $600 car that I bought with rust on the roof, right? That I would drive into grocery carts just to feel accepted because everyone else had a nice car. So if I have a crappy car, see, I said crappy there for you, Zach?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, if I had a crappy car, I would have to destroy it. So this was my pride and joy, which I worked my butt for. And I used to ram it into things just to be accepted, so people didn't make fun of me. And, so I always lived a tough life, went to college, wanted to be a baseball player, made the Villanova baseball team, blew my hip out, went through a little bit of depression, and then became a DJ, got into, I never had a drug problem by any means. I'd be the first to tell you if I did, but just got into partying too much, just doing ecstasy, girls, money, party, cars. And I was running numbers for a bookie. And that was what I did on the side. So I was DJing, bartending, running numbers for a bookie, pretty much anything you could do off the books, gray area or black market area I was doing. And got out, kept bartending, didn't go into the financial world, which I should have. And I'll fast track this. And then my mom had some financial problems and she didn't tell me. So she told me she was fine. She wanted me to take a real job. So I went and took a job at a bank. And then I ended up finding out after my pay went down like 80% from bartending, DJing, slinging, doing the street stuff to just being a regular person, working at a bank. And unfortunately, financial situation came up. I knew that people trusted me because I was running numbers for big bookies. So I decided to try and save the world through gambling. And I was really good at it. And I made a lot of money doing it. But when you're in a desperate situation, you don't really follow the rules and do things the right way. So I had enough trust at a young age where people gave me like $5,000-$10,000 credit lines. I used all of them. And this was going to be I'm going to go make 50, 100 grand, save the world. And it didn't work out. I had a bad week or two. And next thing you know, again, this is super cliff note, had got the ever living crap beat out of me, left on a street to die. Thought I was going to die.
Is this by guys trying to collect the debt?
Yeah, and I had no way of paying it. And I told them I had no way of paying it. Broke my ribs, broke my jaw, broke my face, told me they were going to kill my family, recited my address to me, showed up at my work. And I really had no other option in my mind. I regret what I did, but it made me who I am, so I can't regret it that much. But yeah, that was the option. I was working at the bank. There was a kid behind the teller line who was always talking about how like they would rob these banks and this and that. And I'm like, bro, I'm going to get killed. Like we got to do something. And he was down and I was down. So we set it up where I was working there. And we had this kid who'd robbed like 9 banks before, his friend from New York, come in and clean the place up and swept it through. We actually got away with it. And, we were young. I'm a kid. I'm 22 years old. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm all over the place. And then the person who was my co-defendant actually went and told on us. because
Why?
we got away with it. And he told on us because he talked to a friend, which I don't know why he would. And the friend told him he was going to get deported because he wasn't, I guess, fully legal here. Or he was on a visa or whatever it is. So he went to the police station and showed up, told them what we did, told them where it was.
Thinking that because he's telling on you, they're going to give him a green card?
Yeah, like he's going to be fine. Like he's good. Like now everything's fine. So I leave work that day and he wasn't there. And when I walked out of work to guns pointed at my head, got tackled from behind. And I'm keeping my mouth shut, just like, listen, like I don't know anything. And then I walk into the police station and they point me in a window and they're like, look right there. And the kid's crying with his parents. And I'm just like, oh no. And they're like, you walked right in and told us all about it. And I was like, I want my lawyer. And so funny tie-in here, Zach. I got charged with conspiracy.
Ah.
So that's where my conspiracy started. So yeah, that was about 18 years ago. And Will Sommer doxed that, trying to discredit me on Twitter from the Daily Beast. And I fired back at him like, bro, my nickname at my other company was Prison Mike. They used to joke about it like it was a thing. And I fired on him. I started to turn the tide on him too much on Twitter. And then him and Chrissy Teigen and all their little cucks over there got me banned from Twitter. 250,000 followers gone. Checkmark gone. My whole marketing machine that I had for my other businesses gone. Left my other business. So, yeah, kind of floating on an island right now, Zach. But he did leave out this story, the part of the story where we beat up a pedophile in prison and then got jumped for it. He left out the part where I went back in for 3 months for defending a woman at a club DJ's in Belmar. So again, it's all on the podcast. You could listen to the whole story, but yeah, so I basically got kicked off Twitter because I woke up getting attacked with a 10,000 word hit piece from this cuck about me being a bad person. And then I get kicked off for defending myself. So yeah, that's my life story. Here we are now today.
Well, I got to say, thank God you got it all taken care of back then, because, you know, the most horrible thing I can imagine is doing something that you know was wrong and then having to live, you know, however many years it is before the karma catches up with you, and then you have to face the music. And, I mean, being young, I mean, how long did you actually have to stay in jail?
I was in there for a couple years. And, yeah, so about 2 years, 3 months total. Or 18 years and 18 months and then 3 months, so about 21 months total. But
I mean, pretty good for robbing a bank, though.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, luckily I was like an accomplice more. I wasn't the guy who ran in with a gun and a mask or anything like that. So, you know, it was, you know, first offense and all that. But
how about him? Did he get
they got deported. I don't know what they ended up getting. Yeah. So yeah, he did that not to get deported, and then he got deported. But
probably,
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. The awakening for me didn't even happen in prison. It happened when I was in the hole. When I told you we beat up that dude when we found out he was a pedophile. We talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
That's what started my pedophilia rant, because there's two things you can't be even in prison. Like, you could be anything in prison. I was hanging out with murderers. You know George Young? You know Blow? The show Blow?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
George Young was my friend.
No way. I love that movie.
Yeah, so when I first got in there, George Young was actually my first friend in prison, like, because he worked in the library and I was, you know, trying to be on the educated side.
Wow.
And then I found out from one of the mafia guys I was hanging out with that he's a rat, and you can't be a rat in prison, and you can't be a pedophile in prison. Those are the only two things. I mean, I hate to say it, you could even hit women, you could murder people, you could do anything. You can't mess with kids or be a rat. So I had to stop talking to him when I found that out, which was pretty upsetting because I was like a huge George Young fan from the movie.
Sure. And I mean, you know, how many times can you make a true connection with somebody in prison? You know, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't want to drag this out too long, but I ended up spending about 54 days in the hole after we got to that dude. And that was bad. 23 hours of basically darkness. So that's when you do a lot of introspective thinking at that point.
So in the hole, you wouldn't be able to read. There's no light. I mean, do they allow you to wear clothing?
I mean, it didn't really matter. You're in a cage like Hannibal Lecter. There's a tint on the window, so you can't even see light out the window. And there was just these little scrapes of light, like on the outside of the window, so you could tell if it was daylight or late or not.
Yeah.
To go to the shower, you had to put your hands behind your back and like get handcuffed to go to the shower and stuff. It was pretty crazy for a little pretty boy college kid, you know, to be treated like Hannibal Lecter at that point. But it wakes you up, makes you realize that I was heading down the wrong path. It was time to stop. So.
Well, that's a bit of a silver lining. I mean, I've often said that despite all of the terrible things that have happened to me, the consequences that I've had to face, I wouldn't change any of it for the world, because it would mean that I wouldn't be the person that I am today. You know, all of those things get put together to create you as a mature adult so that you can continue on with your true mission. So, back to the idea of you getting banned from Twitter. Is there no hope that you'll be able to get that account back, do you think? I imagine that maybe people might have some connections to people who work at Twitter.
I have a lot of people with a lot of connections to Twitter themselves, and I won't read the whole text message chain, but I'll read the last thing that I was told, because they told me, I'll definitely be able to get you back. I've gotten every account back, and he's a good dude, the guy I'm talking to. And I told him, you're not going to get me back. This is a real attack like no one's ever seen. The person that was at Twitter, the message was, when he asked, they looked at him blankly, almost scared. He asked and said, "It's quite a topic here. You'll need to ask your friend to take it further. You have pissed off some very powerful folk. I've never seen this before." Mm-hmm. So no, there is no chance that I'll be getting that back. Even my new company, 4deep.com, which I started so that we can have, me and you have talked about, Zach, about doing stuff over there. And, I'm really planning on bringing the whole community into this. If you go to Instagram and you write the number 4deep.com into a DM, into a swipe up, anywhere on Instagram, it comes up as restricted content. And if you go there right now while you're watching, it's literally just a landing page with an email in it. There's nothing on it. There's no content. And Instagram and Google and everyone's already shutting down the site.
Have you even publicly announced that yet?
No. I announced it on the podcast. Literally the last podcast we did, we dropped it at 1 a.m. I've been banned by Spotify. They took my podcast off Spotify. I've been wiped off Twitter. Return to Jedi got taken off Twitter. I got a death threat, multiple death threats, but the one from Twitter sent me a notification saying, we're getting a lot of people telling us that you're contemplating suicide. So I'm getting suicide notes from Twitter. I have a note from Chase Bank right over here that they sent to my mom saying I was legally dead. This is real. This is all real. This isn't bullshit. I posted it all on my Twitter and on Instagram for those of you that follow me. I get nothing but spam calls all day on my cell phone. I won't show you my list because there's some names there, but it's literally just spam calls every 10 minutes with no one on the other line when I answer it. So, I don't even know. We don't even have anything. I dropped the podcast, put the swipe up link for the new site, and the next day it was blocked. It was up 6 hours later. It was blocked. So for those of you that think, I've made $0 in the last 4 months. I haven't run an ad on my podcast. I haven't set up a Patreon. The reason I didn't was because I knew I was comfortable and I had all that. And now it's all gone and I'm not stopping. So I'm going to keep fighting from this point on. But these attacks are real and they're intense, and I have guns and I don't leave my house that much. Like this is real till November 3rd. So this ain't a game.
It's scary, the fact that they would go after you in such a personal way to try to make it impossible for you to continue on putting out any information at all. What's your plan? Do you have anything lined up? Because obviously you have to eat. I'm assuming that maybe you're married, maybe you have a girlfriend. There's people that matter to you. What's the next move?
Listen, the point of 4Deep, I left my company for a lot of reasons, one of which I kind of found out that George Soros was investing in a company that we were going to bring on as an investor, and there was some stuff there. And my current investors wanted me to stop talking conspiracy and stop talking COVID and sex trafficking and all that. And I said no. So, I was making $40,000 a month, easy, more some months, a month. And had about, I took the company from 0 to 5 million in a year off my Twitter. It's fantasy sports and gambling company. And then I just walked away. So I walked away from all my equity, walked away from my shares, walked away from about $8 million over the next 3 years for this movement. So the plan was, put my 100% of my time into this, start a company for this, the 4deep.com, give everyone a platform, you, Inevitable, CJ, Jordan, like everyone in this movement. And we all work together, and, everyone could do their own thing. Let's unite this and get an uncensored platform, big investors behind it. And, that's a little effed right now. not having my Twitter following to promote it. Probably going to lose my Instagram in a day or two. They're already deleting all my stuff, but I'm not worried. We'll figure it out. Like right now for me, yeah, it crosses my mind, but the bottom line is November 3rd. That's what this is about. This is about November 3rd, and I'm good till then. So we got to fight through this, but yeah, after November 3rd, I'll focus more on that.
All right. Well, hopefully maybe there's some legal ramifications for Twitter and for, social media companies. What really surprises me is that Chase Bank would send that letter to your mother. I mean, how psychologically damaging is that for your mother to get that letter in the mail?
The beauty for me is, and that's why I say my whole life has been building up to this point, like all the stuff I went through, all the mistakes I made, all the dumb shit I did, like it was really all leading up to being prepared to lead this movement. And I'm not saying I'm the face of it. I'm not saying I'm, bigger than anyone else, but I do feel I'm a leader in this movement. I feel like I've gone after a lot of the bigger accounts. I've caused a lot of waves and risked pretty much every single aspect of my life for this. So I'm built for this. I'm battle tested. There's no Dylan Wheeler here. Like there's no one who's going to cave and cry and start complaining that, life is hard and I've changed my last 3.5 years of thought. Like, no, I'm in this to, like, they're going to have to kill me. Like, I've already given it all up. So I'm battle tested. Like, you spend 54 days in a dark hole and in prison, then listen, some letter from fucking Chase Bank isn't going to scare me, So, I'm not trying to act tough. I'm just trying to tell you I ain't going nowhere. So,
I mean, if anybody has any doubts about, you as a person or your motives, I mean, I would immediately point them to the fact that you quite literally have given up everything simply to be a part of this movement, which in my eyes, obviously, number one, supporting the president. Number two, spreading awareness, telling the truth. And number three, helping people to wake up on their own time. We talk about a lot of really difficult subjects here, people waking up to the idea that they've been lied to their entire lives. And now you got somebody like you, somebody like me, giving them the truth, showing them what's truly going on. I honestly, Tommy, I think they've made you more dangerous as a result of that. They thought they were going to shut you up. They thought they were going to take away your ability to make a living. You were, you voluntarily, I don't know many people that would voluntarily give up 40 grand or more a month simply based on principle. I think there's a lot of people out there who, if they're making that much money and then they find out, well, George Soros is thinking about buying into the company or thinking about doing business with us. And for you to say, you know what? I know who I am, as a man. I have principles. I'm going to go ahead and support myself and my self-respect rather than just doing it and giving it up for money.
You know what it is, Zach? It's a lot of you guys that caused this. And that's why I don't mean to, like, most of you haven't even heard this story before outside of the podcast, just because I had to address it because I'm not one that's here to cry that, I don't tell people a lot of what's going on in my life on a day-to-day basis. There's days where I wake up and I'm just like, shit, like, do I want to, like, every day it's just another apocalypse, right? Business partners who don't want to be involved now. So, like, what this comes down to for me, I don't want to act like I'm this, like Lord and Savior who's coming in here and had this great epiphany. And I'm like, I wasn't a great person for about 34 years. I was always loyal. I'd never hurt a person. The reason why the bank thing didn't issue me is because, fuck the banks. Like I never liked big government. I never liked the banks anyway. And I knew the money was insured, but, would never steal from a person, would never hurt a fly, volunteered at an animal shelter, volunteered at the Special Olympics. I was like the last kid that you would have expected to be involved in that. But I got caught up with the partying and I got caught up with the money and I got caught up with girls and I bought a $100,000 car and was wearing $10,000 watches. And it just wasn't me, but there was that chip on my shoulder from growing up so poor that I always felt like money would fix it. And for about 33, 34 years, that's where I went. And I started to lose myself. And what I started to realize over the last 5 or 6, which I switched out of Wall Street to fantasy, because I was like, fantasy, cool. It's just a hobby. It's something I love. It's not dark Wall Street, dirty money. Like I don't have to feel bad about making money at DraftKings, right? But what I started to realize over the last couple of years is that you already know this. The people listening already know this. This world could be about to end if people who have platforms don't use them. This is not a game. I keep saying it. So to act like I just voluntarily went, oh, screw the money, I'm going to be a righteous person. Like, no, I'm scared to death, guys. And so should you be. Like, we are at endgame right now. Like, November 3rd will decide our future. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even saying if Trump wins, everything's going to be fine. I'm saying if Trump loses, we're dead.
Yeah.
So this was a choice where I had to make a decision. And I feel like March happened for a reason for me, where it was like, that was that final push I needed to go all in, because I know athletes, I know entertainers, I had the check mark, I had the following, I can make a bigger impact. I'm not as smart as any of the smaller QAnon accounts or conservative accounts or anyone they're way smarter than me. But if I could be their megaphone, that was my job. And I needed to try and be a Trojan horse. So also it was, it's a karmic balance. I've found religion a lot more over the last 3 or 4 months. I thank you. I thank CJ. I thank, everyone, Inevitable, all the guys in this movement. And the way I kind of stumbled across God was to understand that the devil exists, like I kind of reverse engineered it, because I was never a religious person. I don't believe in organized religion. I don't believe in groups. I'm a free thinker, and I've always been a lone wolf, but I have to do this, and everyone has to do this. So in my world, you lead by example. And if I could give up every single thing and go at this and get attacked left and right and take all these bullets and take all these L's, hopefully, and I've seen it, people with millions of Instagram followers, me and you have talked about it. If it motivates a few Instagram models or a couple athletes or some more, people who were being quiet and part of the silent majority to speak up, then that's what needs to happen. And that's what my mission and my job is right now, because I need to go up there. I need to get up there. God forbid they get to me. And I feel like finally I'm at a high enough vibration and an ascension level where I'm going there. And it's the first time in the last couple of years that I felt like if all hell breaks loose and these bastards get me, I'm going to be off to a better life in the afterlife. And it's a good feeling, and I'm not stopping, because I'm not going back to where I was, before. So, and I hope everyone has that same view.
I'm really glad to hear that, because it's, I definitely did not live my life the correct way for a long time. And, it was for all the wrong reasons. I felt like I had to go nonstop, like I couldn't sleep. I couldn't, take a moment to breathe. I had too many people that were depending on me. And so everything that you said, I identify with on such a deep level. But when you get to that point where you realize that, if you just let go a little bit and you start looking at it, from a spiritual perspective, from a karmic perspective, you realize that there is no other life that is worth living than, doing it with integrity, doing it right. And I love this movement because although it may not be, it's not specifically a religious movement, but there is a deep element of spirituality, and it brings people to God. And, I've often said that, even though I'm Christian, I've often said that, you don't have to be a Christian in order to understand that you've been lied to, and that, we need to save the country, we need to save the world. And so I think that by having these realizations, it has the opportunity to bring people to God, to allow them to live a different type of life, and to know that they have to do it right. You have to be honest. You have to have integrity. You have to treat people with respect. And if you don't, then it's going to eat away at you, and your sins are going to pile up.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and I'll be the first to admit it. I'm not going to run out here all of a sudden that I'm deeper into this movement and pretend like I'm sitting here all reading the Bible. Like, I'm trying. I'm really, really, really anti-organized anything. So it's been really hard for me. And there's been a lot of people like CJ and a lot of you guys who have really come to me. And the thing that's making me do it right now is that I am feeling something coming through me, right? And it's the first time ever. A lot of you may have already experienced this. To me, it's crazy because I've always controlled the wheel with both hands and never let the car just kind of drive and see where it goes. But like, I'm able to make things show up on the TV right now. Like, I feel like I'm in the Matrix, like Neo, like that's what I feel like. And I feel like I'm untouchable. I'm unstoppable. And listen, I used to always say, I believe in simulation. I believe in aliens. I believe in God. I believe there may be a fat kid with pimples on his face controlling us in a video game. I don't know. But whoever's up there, I'm talking to him and he's listening, and And it's helping, and it's making, so I'm on my way. So I don't want anyone in here to think I'm going all Dylan Wheeler and hiding behind the cross. Like, I'm on my way. I'm trying. Like, I'm not where a lot of you guys are. Hopefully I get there, but I'm not controlling it either. It's working. I'm here for a reason. He has a purpose for me. I kind of look at it as like, you know, to fight a war, you need nukes, right? You need some like kamikaze guys. You need some guys who are willing to fly into the building and, you know, jump out of trees with daggers against guys with guns. That's me. So I'm a weapon right now, and that's how I'm being used. And hopefully it leads me where I end up going, but I'm not forcing it. I'm open to it. And I love and appreciate all you guys, because this is the first time in my life I've been on social media. I've been off more than I've been on lately, but when I've been on social media, and I actually feel like my followers care about me. Like they pray for me, and it makes me want to read Revelations. It makes me want to read the Bible. Like, it makes me want to go and read these passages that I'm always like, the Bible's BS. But it's bringing me to it, not through a point of pushing me there, through a point of just love. And I need that right now, because as badass as I pretend to be 24 hours a day, you know, there's days I wake up where I don't want to wake up, you know, like I just want to lay in bed and just, you know, shut the world down for a day. But, you know, it's been awesome. It's been cool. And we win. You know, we do win this war. I know that for a fact. This isn't being done for no reason. And hopefully I could just be a big part of it, even if I don't have social media to talk to you guys on.
Oh man, it would be a bleak, dark world without you on social media. Now, I do want to say to everybody, and I'm sure that the mods have been sharing this, but we do have several social media profiles for you in the description of the video. You're on Parler. You know, I don't want to specify anything else, but you know, go ahead and check out those links and make sure that you follow Tommy in order to stay up to date on everything that he's doing. You know, the beautiful thing about it is, obviously, I think you're going in the right direction. I am I'm selective on who I spend any amount of time with. You know, I mean, just by the very nature of what we do, we have to interact with so many people. There are so many wonderful people in this movement. And, you know, each and every individual person's personal relationship with God is something that they need to come to in their own time. You know, I will never tell anyone what to believe, no matter what. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to tell people what I believe, and I'll help people, you know, getting to where they need to be. But that unique path to that relationship is beautiful, you know, because God is love, and you know, God can be there for you at any time. Somebody said on Thursday, God's not a genie, okay, but you know, if you open yourself up to having that relationship with him, then you know, a lot of things can change in your life, you know. So, well, thinking about the next couple of months, I mean, we've got just under 3 months before this election hits. And, you know, there's a lot of things going on. I mean, you mentioned Dylan, you know, and full disclosure, you know, I mean, I've been friends with Dylan for a long time, you know. I'm not going to tell Dylan what to believe. But, you know, I don't agree with the conclusions that he's come to. And I haven't seen his full video that he put out today. But, you know, I think that what I have always tried to espouse here, you know, as a conservative, as somebody who's in this movement, is that the choice, as our friend Q says, you know, the choice to know will be yours. You know, you need to take this information and you need to digest it, and then you need to make the decision about what it is you're going to choose to believe. So if somebody decides that they don't want to take part in this anymore, they don't want to trust the president, you know what? That's you. You know, I mean, that's not me. I know exactly what I believe. I know exactly, you know, what's happening, you know, and I feel that I'm right. But I mean, I think that's a subjective thing. Everybody believes they're right. You know, somebody changes their mind, and then next thing you know, they're right about something else. But there's probably going to be a lot of hairy stuff happening between now and the election. You know, what do you think is the most important thing that people need to be focusing on? Because President Trump just said the other day that we may not see him publicly again for a while. You know, I think that he knows that there are dangerous things out there. But just because there are dangers out there, to me, doesn't mean that President Trump is somehow not in charge or not driving this ship, you know? I just think that it means he's not stupid. He knows that there are powerful people out there who might be coming after him. I mean, what do you think is going to be happening?
Well, first let me briefly address the Dylan situation. Me and Sather you guys know Jordan Sather,
yeah.
I'm assuming everyone knows Jordan Sather. We're going to be doing a live on my Instagram, Tommy G Patriot. If you guys want, I'm doing all my Twitter activity on Instagram. It's tough to do threads and stuff like that, but make sure that's where I'm most active. Tommy G Patriot on Instagram and Parler. But, you know, Instagram is really the place I've been doing the most red pilling, and it's been working successfully. But Dylan's dead to me. I don't want to bring you into it because I know you guys have, you know, everyone has their own relationship with everyone. I never met the kid. I barely said 7 words to him. He's dead to me. I don't care about him. We're going to be talking about him. I'm going to light him on fire out of respect for you and your friendship. I'm not going to do it on your show, but he's going to get torched. And me and Sather are going to do a Instagram live about it. We'll let you guys know, but he's not done yet. And I'll just kind of leave it at that. You don't get to turn on the movement this late. I don't care. You don't get to spend 3.5 years pumping, profiting, doing all that kind of stuff and leading a movement, and then all of a sudden turn around and just leave. Like, listen, if you want to leave, go, bruh. Like, you don't believe in this anymore. You believe you're on the wrong side. Someone's got a gun to your head. Whatever the hell's going on in his life and whatever's happening to him, that's on him, right? Like that. You don't turn and heel turn on the movement and then try to be the voice of the other side. Because guess what? If you spend 3.5 years and you say you spent 10 years studying this stuff, and then all of a sudden you decided in a 40-minute video full of bullshit that you're going to flip your whole entire world, 300,000 followers, and turn on it, then who the hell is going to believe you on your new mission? Does that mean 3.5 years later you're going to flip on this side and come back? You've lost all credibility. You are dead to me. You are done. There is one way out of this movement, and that's feet first at this point. Anyone who's not all in is all out. And we will eventually treat him like McCain at some point and not say his name by the middle to end of next week. But again, I'm sorry. I know it's your boy. I don't want to go off on your show about it, but he's dead. He's not going to kill him, but he's dead to me. He's done. I'm going to have one statement, one show about him. I'm going to scorch earth on it. If he wants to come back at me, I hope he comes back at me with love, because that's all he's preaching as he reads whiny, bitchy things on his whole video that I watched 10 minutes of and wanted to shoot myself. But I'm not done with him. He will be dealt with. It was going to be done on Twitter. They took my Twitter down. But by Monday or Tuesday, me and Sather will be doing a video, and it won't be all hate and fire. It'll be real open debate. If Dylan wants to come on it, I'd be glad to have him on, because I got a lot to say to him. But from right now, free think, use your own mind. We know what we believe. We trust this plan. We trust what's going on. No one worshipped Q more than God. No one worshipped Trump more than God. You're taking extreme examples of the 5% of people that do that, and you're making it the 100%. I never went to bed and prayed to Q or Trump. You don't go to bed and pray to Q or Trump. So when you start saying people were worshiping Q or Trump more than their God, no, maybe you were, bruh. The rest of us weren't. So don't project that on us. Again, don't want to do any more on your show, but you'll be hearing more from me about that. Tommy G Patriot, Jay Sather over there. He'll be dealt with. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I understand.
I needed to get that out.
Well, I do want to say that I'm glad that you just made that offer for Dylan to actually come and participate. So, you know, I don't know if he's going to see this, but you know, hopefully
he's going to see it. He's watching it right now.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I guarantee it.
Hopefully he will take you up on that, because I think that that's something that that's necessary. All right. So beyond that, you know, I just want to make a public announcement and say that to everyone here, to anyone who follows me, you know, I said this the other day. I said, if somebody finds themselves actually worshiping Q or worshiping POTUS, obviously that's a problem. And that's something that you need to address directly. But I think it's a personal thing. I don't think that it's a reflection of the movement, because I don't know anyone who actually does that. I certainly have never felt that I was. I think that all things they exist only through God, through Jesus. That's, it's a direct line. It all starts there, and then everything else comes as a result. So, obviously this movement, very important to me. Our country, so very important to me. The safety and security of our president, paramount. My family, you've got a hierarchy of needs, and you have to learn how to balance those things out. I think maybe for me, having been a father for 19 years, I've had some experience with that. I've been able to do that. So, I understand, where that is and what comes first. But don't allow yourself to go down that route. And if there's anybody out there who is having any doubts, I've always been here. I've always been somebody that I've made myself available. I've said, come here, we can talk about it. I will be happy to talk you back off that ledge and allow you to, get some perspective again. But I'm never going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere, okay? I trust in POTUS. Obviously, I have firm faith in God, but my trust and belief in POTUS and the movement and everything that's happening, those are two separate things, completely separate things. So
let me tell you one thing for you, Zach,
yeah.
here, in your defense and in everyone else's understanding. Can anyone end up being a PSYOP? Of course. Yeah. Anyone. I mean, just look at, we're under attack right now. You see ship turning. He's probably a plant. You see, Nino Rodriguez and Montaga. I think they just got taken advantage of by Steinhardt because they're newer to the movement. We can't group everyone into the same box. Dylan, I probably really would honestly, gun to my head, believe that he's being threatened or something crazy happened in his life. It just doesn't make sense that a 45-minute video could turn you like that. Something's going on there that maybe we don't know about and maybe he can't share. You look at Alex Jones, he's a PSYOP from the beginning. All this is happening at the same time. This was all predicted, not only by Q, but by all of us. We knew they were going to pull out every stop. They were going to, throw every Hail Mary and, drop every bomb they could before the election, because this is endgame for them. If POTUS gets 4 more years. The one thing I will want to tell you guys to always stay firm on is that if even these people were right? Let's say hypothetically they were like, oh, Trump's on the other team. It's game over anyway then. Mm-hmm. We're all done. So to believe in POTUS and to believe in Trump and to believe in that side of the aisle, it's really our only option at this point. Because guess what? If Trump's a PSYOP, like some of these people would say, it's over, guys. There's nothing Tommy G or Zach or any of you are going to do. If they're all really on the same team to start this NWO and Trump and Jim Jordan and Gates and Biden and Pelosi are all on the same team. Bye, Felicia. Get close to Elon Musk, because we need to get to Mars. It's a wrap. So you might as well be all in, because if they're right, then we're dead. So yeah.
So and I guess I would ask anybody out there, if you have people in your lives who are maybe starting to wane. People get battle fatigued. This has been nonstop for the last 3.5 years, and longer than that. And now we're finally in the end game. I think it is more important than ever that we remain unified and that we keep our eyes on the prize. Keep moving forward. Don't break that line. Do not allow them to gain ground. We have to be there for each other. If somebody is starting to get battle fatigued, reach out to your brother, okay? Reach out to that person and help them continue on, because we can't afford to lose any one of us. We had the purge on Twitter. Today, I lost 5,000 followers more, 5,000 additional followers on Twitter today. Some of them were coming back, but I know that people are getting deleted. How many people, do we know? You yourself, many, many other people. So what else do you think they're going to pull? What else do you see in the cards as a potential here?
So I've had this little bit of psychic ability for a long time. My nickname has been Nostradamus in the gambling world. I actually used to, Zach, you'd laugh. I used to predict when a team would score a touchdown, how they'd score it, and what side of the TV they'd be running to when they did.
No way,
it,
dude.
Right?
No wonder you were so making money.
Yeah, so I've always said, no, it's not all the time, but when I have the visions, I have them, and they're coming on like crazy over the last few months. In this world, and like I'm saying, I've seen it. We win, we do, but it's unorthodox, and there's a lot of chaos coming. we're going to see a lot more attacks. Like, guys, this is August. The election isn't for 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, this is nothing. Like, we are about to get attacked on every angle. We are probably going to see Donald Trump Jr. get wiped off Twitter completely. We'll probably see Donald Trump get wiped off Twitter. I mean, I think we're about to see some things on the internet version of it, from Google, from Facebook, all systems go to attack this. We're probably going to see Project Bluebeam come around. I know me, Jordan, and a lot of others have been calling for this. They're already unleashing the alien documents. They're starting to numb the public to it with this MK Ultra. You're going to see celebrities go completely maniacal. You're going to see school shootings. You're going to see every false flag that you can imagine is going to be thrown at this. And we just need to stay strong, because we're going to all get weak at times. We're human beings. We're going to get weak. There's going to be down days. What I advise everyone to do in this war, because listen, I think I'm one of the baddest dudes on the planet. And there's days, like I said, where I don't even want to get out of bed. We need to learn to take some time off and take some scheduled days off. You know, Sunday is a great day to do it from a religious purpose and from a just mental health, end of the week, start the new week psychology. But take a day off here and there. You don't have to fight this battle 24/7. I was getting into that, Zach, and it was draining me, and my battery was running low. So I'd keep fighting. I'd keep barking like a chihuahua instead of a pit bull. And now that I take some time off and being deleted from social media multiple times, it kind of re-energizes you. And, you know, like you said, speak to good people, speak to people around you, and reach out to people. If you're zapped and you're running on Zak Paine, you do it. I'll send you a text like, bro, I'm running on empty today. And you'll just call me up and we'll just talk about something that has nothing to do with conspiracy theories. You know, I do the same thing with Craig and Jordan and all that. And this community will help itself. So don't quit if you feel like you're going to quit. Just sleep an extra 8 hours, you know, have a few drinks, go out, go to the park, get some sun, connect with the universe, connect with God, and just come back ready for war in a day or two. That's what it is. It's a long battle. It's a marathon.
I've seen multiple people in the chat say, "Who's Felicia?" You guys never heard that? Bye, Felicia.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Friday.
Google by Felicia from Friday.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Oh, look, we have 17 dislikes. Okay, so 1.7 thousand likes. Do me a favor, guys. Don't forget to like the broadcast. Please go ahead. And somebody says, take a vacation soon. We need you. I just took a vacation. I just went to Atlantic City. But yes, to your point, Tommy, yeah, we really do have to learn how to recharge. There was a long time there where I didn't take any days off. I was going 7 days a week. And then during the quarantine, I was doing 2 shows a day, basically 5 days a week. And I almost died. You know, I mean, by the end, I was ready to go ahead and, you know, take some time off. But I've made it for myself where, you know, even during the day, you know, at a certain point, I have to, you know, stop using social media. I have to limit my use of social media, you know, multiple times during the day, because otherwise I would just be on it all the time. And then you have the pressure, you know, from people. You know, they want to get information to you. You know, people want you to see things. You know, hey, will you please share this? And I wish I could clone myself. You know, and some people will say that you can, but I don't know how to clone myself, even though we joke about it. But you know, because then I could go ahead and you know and do all of those things. You know, I mean, like there is an unending number of tasks that you could do at any given moment when it comes to this stuff, but realizing that everything is going to continue whether or not you are tweeting or whether or not you are answering your email or posting stuff on Facebook. Everything will continue in your absence, and you have to allow yourself that time because otherwise you are going to lose it.
Yeah, I can't believe when I started my new account on Twitter, I thought it just stopped when I left, and then I realized it had been going on the whole time.
Oh man,
so that was frustrating. I was like, all right, it's got to end, right?
All right. Well, I need to say thank you to Kyle. Kyle, thanks for that donation on Cash App. He says, thanks for the amazing content. And, you know, I saw people complaining about the mishap at the beginning. Here's the thing, guys. Because of CV-19, because of the Rona, there are no computer places that I can take my computer to. So when I start a broadcast and the microphone's working, and then mysteriously after we start live and it stops working, there's nothing I can do about it. I don't have anywhere to take the computer, so I appreciate everybody's patience until I can actually take it to not a mechanic, but a technician, so that I can, you know, have something looked at. Because as it is right now, it's frustrating for me. I know it's frustrating for you.
I want to add something in there as far as for you doing this show and from a businessman, what a lot of people don't understand, because I know there was, a Q drop. Be careful, people who are looking to profit from the movement, right? Who are looking to capitalize on the movement, Dylan Wheeler. So what I want people to understand, and a big wedding coming up you had to pay for, but what I want people to understand is the example that I always give is, I know Zach. I know what Thomas was the first show I was ever on. I know all the guys who do this. And I know just my time writing a thread, like a thread took a day and a half and it was exhausting and draining. And it's like, you also need to be able to make a living if you want to do this full time. Like, I want Zach here all the time, as much as possible, feeding me as much information. But if he can't pay his mortgage, and if he can't support his child, and if he can't support his wife, then he's going to have to work a regular 9-to-5 job and do this on the side after he comes home for dinner, maybe works out a little bit, hangs out with the wife and the kids for a little bit. Now it's 9:30 in the morning, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and he's got to be up at 9. So people still have bills and still need to live a life. And I think a lot of the grassroots patriots who are home working all day and then come home and absorb all the content forget that it's not profiting from the movement to give up your life and focus on making your living and your time from this movement. So if you're not supporting these channels, if you're not putting, money and effort and time into this, and you just think it's Zach's job or Thomas's job or Inevitable ET's job or whoever's job it is to just provide you information for free and let their whole lives fall apart around them and then keep their energy levels up at a 10 when they're worried about paying their phone bill and paying their cable, you're out of your minds. So I always encourage, support these guys. I luckily have a good chunk of money in the bank, which I'm eating into heavily right now. It's a very expensive lifestyle. But anyone you see on here doing these channels, like, to throw even $5, a couple bucks to get information on this stuff is nothing, because keep in mind, we'll also worship Tucker Carlson, who I love, who's making about $5 million a year to do an hour show a day, and no one has a problem with that.
Yeah.
But every time someone asks for a Patreon to get $20 for spending 10 hours of research, mess with mics and do all that, people start complaining. Patriot, you're a patriot. No, stop that nonsense. Understand, in order for all of this community to make a living and be happy and fruitful and provide the best information for you with the most time and research possible, you guys got to contribute a little bit. And that's my final piece on that. Sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right. And I mean, that's why I specifically donate to other creators as well, because I understand the time and the effort that goes into this. And, I understand where Q was talking about at that time. I mean, it was a specific instance, and there are people, I believe, out there with ill intentions, and they take the name of Q, they take the name of POTUS, and they monetize it without having the intention of bringing information and trying to help people. It's a different situation. So I appreciate my audience so much, and I appreciate that. Whatever meager earning I am able to earn from my sponsors and from people who donate, to afford me the time that it takes to be able to put my all every single day into this, because it's not about doing it to make money. It is about doing my best to support the movement here and what it is that we're fighting for, to make sure that President Trump gets into office again, to make sure that as many people wake up as possible, because there's nothing I hate more than seeing people post the most ridiculous.
Yeah. You all right?
Tell me if you guys can hear me, because
Now you're back. Now you're back for me.
Okay. All right. So anyways, now we have to wait for a 5x5, you guys. Give me 5x5s. I wasn't muted. The mic. I'm gonna man.
If you guys would contribute more to the damn Patreon, you could buy a mic.
Okay, my girlfriend says I'm good now, and I just kicked my dog. Sorry, Muffin. Sorry, honey. Yeah, I got so many messages saying I'm muted too.
You're good now. You're good now.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened. So Timothy says, thank you, a little extra for the cause. I really appreciate that, Tim. Lorraine says, keep the faith and trust the plan. Thank you for that. And Ken, Baby Yoda, says, for bacon. I'm gonna buy $50 worth of bacon. Also, Avery says, keep up the good fight. All right, you guys, I have opened up the phone lines. Got the information there on the screen. I'm also going to drop the Zoom link, so please call in. We're going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. You can ask Tommy any question that you possibly could think of. And we've already got 4 people waiting on the line. So let's
drop something before you kick to it, Zach.
Go ahead.
By the way, there's this really new, awesome Twitter account, guys.
Yes.
That you should check out. It just started right before this show. It's called Can't Be Canceled. Can't Be Canceled on Twitter. You guys should really check it out. Seems like a good new account.
Hey, can you hear me?
Flames.
Yes, we can. Yeah, Tommy was just finishing up a thought. God's daughter is on the line with us. Can you hear me, God's daughter? God's daughter, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Mic check, mic check.
Yeah,
I'm good at my end.
I can hear you.
I am not muted on my end.
No. We can hear you, but can you hear us?
Okay, I cannot hear you, but I can read your lips. You say you can hear me, is that right?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Can you hear me?
Good. All right. Well, that's all right. Red Pill, listen, I'm apparently my role in the in this QAnon movement is to be the prayer warrior. So shake your head no if you don't want me to pray. That's what I want to do. Shake your head. Okay, I'm going to pray. Okay, Tommy G, I was prompted. You said something that you were reaching out, and as soon as I heard you say that, I'm like, I got to call in. Listen, I've got a master's in Christian education, and I'm not into what do you call I forgot my language here, but an organized group either. I'm in a rocking the West Coast prayer group.com. So if you want to be in a non-organized religion or whatever with a bunch of Christians who just worship Jesus, okay, and I can't hear y'all, so I'm just going with it, okay? Rocking the West Coast prayer.com. It's you go in there, it's ROCKINTHE. Rocking the West Coast prayer.com. It's Melissa Leggett and Mark Taylor. It's a time zone thing. So you just hook it up and find your time zone. And I've gotten real close with my prayer group. They're in California. I'm not.
I wrote it down.
So, I can't hear you, baby. So, but I'm going to keep on praying, okay? And then I'll give you back your time. All right. All right. Father, in the name of Jesus, I pray for Tommy G that you'll grant him the peace, and Lord, I'm going to ask that he'll have a personal relationship with Jesus. Father, just all you have to do is confess your sins and acknowledge that you need Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior, and we go with it from there. I'm gonna pray for Red Pill and Red Pill girlfriend and Red Pill mom. Father, in the name of Jesus, I pray that you will solve whatever the technical issues are for Red Pill. Give him all the everything that he needs for his technology and for his fur babies, and for Red Pill girlfriend and Red Pill mom, whatever their needs are, Father. And Father, I pray for all these lovely patriots in the chat, and whatever any of them need, Father, just heal and touch and love. In the name of Jesus and the power of the Holy Spirit, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. And I'm gonna hang on and see if you want me to hang up now, okay?
Thank you, dear. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I can't hear you, but I'm gonna hang up, okay?
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
We love you. Thank you, darling. What a sweetheart. That's awesome. Hold on, I think you got a sound check again. Hold on, can you guys hear me? Can they still hear me? Yeah.
I can still hear you.
All right, T, let's go. Let's rock with it. How you doing, dear?
I'm doing great, Tommy G. It's really funny because I was just made aware of you not long ago, and then I hear, "Wow, you're off of Twitter."
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I'm just now getting into Twitter and Instagram, and don't check it. I'm so busy. It's this can consume you 12 hours a day. It really can. But I'm really sorry to hear about what happened to you. I don't want to take all this time up. Zak knows a little bit about what I'm about to say. Very little, Zak, because we've done some other things. But Tommy G, there's already been millions spent on your behalf. You do not have to make another platform. I work with someone that's a patriot. He's a veteran. He's already made this for us. And what you don't know, Zak, is a missing piece that we needed was a really good social media platform, which is going to roll out this week or on the weekend. Okay.
Sweet.
So what are the problems? You can name all these different problems that we've had. So censorship is one of them, right? You don't have to worry about that with us. So I say that we need to bring you on, Tommy G. We need to bring Red Pill 78. We need to bring the whole crew over here. It's already made. When you stream to YouTube, we already have a screen share platform that I was testing out the other day, and then I would go back and delete it. But I was testing it out the other day where you can, just like with Zoom, you can have your screen share platform, but you can also live stream to YouTube at the same exact time. So if you lose YouTube, well, you need to give a shout out and say where you can find him on this other one. So you can use it as a backup channel, because like you and Zak and everybody else, you've been using all these known media platforms and you've built like a couple 100,000 followers. You can't get out of the fight. You have to remain where you're at as long as you can. But the reality of it is you can wake up tomorrow and it'll be gone. You will not be gone on this platform.
What is what's the platform, dear?
And that is what I'm going to tell you. I've told Zak that I'm not going to announce the platform unless he and I get together and we talk about it and he approves and goes for it. I don't know, maybe it's an integrity issue.
Right. No, I hear you.
I want his blessing on it. I'm calling it to Red Pill's show. I'm just going to tell, Red Pill, that's, we need to talk about this. And what I'd like to do is once we talk about this and I give you a complete overview, because there's a lot of moving parts that you do know about some of the moving parts already, Zak. There's a lot of moving parts to this. And it's really hard to market. In fact, you'll probably see on some mainstream channels, you'll see the creator of the platform actually interviewed about
what I'm going to do, T. I'm going to give Zak has my email. So after the show, maybe it's going to be midnight here. So maybe tomorrow, connect with me and Zak, and I'll have the email in there. So let's chat. Let's chat offline.
Yeah, and just like, well, if there's a veteran, there's a patriot, and he knows what's going on, and he developed this for us. This is self-funded, no investor required. Yeah. He just says, Tony, tell me what I need to do. I just asked him last week. I said, we need a pay-per-view, and I know you got it.
Well, let's chat about it all.
Tell me, he said, give me a reason, I'll turn it on.
Right.
Okay.
So let's chat about it, because I got my thing, Pill's got his thing, you got your thing. I mean, there's no reason all these things can't coexist either together, separately, as one. But let's definitely hit that offline for sure.
Okay, Zak,
Awesome.
We'll do that.
Appreciate it. Thank you for sharing it.
Thank you. And one last thing, Tommy. I was listening to your story And I just want to let you know, I really, I said something about pay-per-view. Zach, this also goes back to what was mentioned last week on one of your shows, is we need to get together, and there's a lot of talent that we have that we could take over Hollywood. And I'm telling you, we have a platform for it, and I want Tommy G's story.
Well, I got some people lined up too, which maybe we'll end up doing business together, but I have some athletes and some people who are ready to come out too. So that's all part of the plan and synchronicity, and God's bringing everyone together at the same time. So
I've also got a script that a few people have looked at, and it has to do with protecting yourself from not being taken. And I'm careful about the words I use here. So what I'd like to do is get all I'd like to have a formal meeting and get.
That's what I was saying. So Zach sent the. I just want to make sure I see a bunch of these people lining up to come in. So I want to make sure we get, to some of those. But let's pick this up offline. The three of us, 100%. I'm in talk. I'm down to talk to anyone who's got something brewing. So I'm excited for it, T. Thank you for sharing.
Sounds great. We'll see what we can coordinate. Thank you so much.
Sounds good. We'll talk to you, Tony. Peace.
Bye-bye.
All right, you guys, can you hear me now? People are saying that I was muted before, but I'm not muted. The microphone just is not working, and I don't understand, you guys.
You might be. You could just bring. Let me see what it's.
Check.
5x5, 5x5. They can hear you. All right, you're back.
Wait, you guys can hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
You, Jesus.
You're back, Phil.
All right. Thanks, guys. You'll let me know if I go muted again.
Don't worry. I listen. I host shows for a living. I can pick it right up if you drop for a minute. Don't worry.
All right. Going to we got to get Denise in here, because Denise was attempting to call in last week and it did not work. So yeah, we'll get Denise in. Thank you so much. I saw somebody else joined on Patreon. Really appreciate that. Steve, he says, have a great weekend. Thank you very much, Steve. Let's see. Wow, there's so many I can't even get to them. Let's see. Oh, Christy says, for the new mic fund, we can weather the storm together. Definitely. Thank you very much. I'll be ordering one after the show. Kathy also says mic fund. Dennis, thank you very much. Eunice, thank you very much for that. Deborah, also thank you. Cindy says, thank you, Zach, for all you do. Here's a little bit for the new microphone. Thank you very much. And Beer Parade actually just messaged me and said, I think Zoom might be switching your input microphone. Call me tomorrow and we'll try it out. I definitely will, brother. We'll go ahead and do that. All right. So, Denise, are you there?
I'm here.
Excellent. Glad that we got it to work this time. So, what's going on? What's your question for Tommy?
What's up, Denise?
Yeah. Hi, honey.
How you doing, sweetheart?
My computer crashed last week, so I lost you. Very, very interesting story. Your background story. Quite traumatic for you, to say the least.
Thank you.
My question is, what do you think to POTUS worried me. My stomach dropped when he was at that Whirlpool factory yesterday, and he said that you wouldn't be hearing from him for a while. Yeah. So. And then he shot off from the White House, and everybody was waving him goodbye. And I was really worried until he turned up today and told the press, laughed my socks off.
Yeah. So, and Zach, I'm sure you have your input on this too. My interpretation of this, I did a 50-part thread, which some of you in the chat will remember, on Twitter, one of my last threads before I got the boot, on Nasara Jassara. So I think this has actually been in the works, whether it is actually Nasara itself or whether it is just phases of it. But you're hearing him talk a lot about tax situation, how he's going to use executive orders to implement payroll tax laws, even extending unemployment, extending, non-evictions till the end of the year. He's doing a lot of things that would sound like an Nasarist would be doing. So obviously that is my optimistic hope. If something like that were, the line that he said was, there's a lot of really rich and powerful people around the world who have a problem with me, and you might see me disappear for a while. This is something we've been prepared for. This is something that have been in Q drops, have been in anonymous comments on the boards, that there's going to be a time where, you know, POTUS may be enacting something so drastic and so dramatic. The first thing that comes to my mind is Nisara, that it will literally send the leaders of the NWO into a complete tailspin where their only option is to kill him, and he may have to disappear. So when I see stuff like that, I don't look at it as a negative as much as, okay, and yeah, he appeared today. That doesn't mean anything. He was talking about, you're not going to see me at the White House, in my opinion, but I don't think we are going to see as much of him. I think he is working on something monstrous behind the scenes. They always talk about the October surprise in the elections, how there's something gigantic that happens every October. I think it's coming in August, September. And we're going to see something big happen very soon, in my opinion, in the next 30 to 45 days, hopefully, that will be earth-shattering to the deep state. So don't look at it as a negative. If Trump has to disappear for a while, that's probably a good thing, because that means he's about to drop a bomb on him.
Yeah, I thought that he was talking about people like Soros and Rockefellers and things like that.
Michael, I don't know if you know, Denise, Michael Rothschild actually wrote a nice little article about me. I don't know if you saw that. He wrote a nice little comment when I got kicked off Twitter. So I pissed him off too. So maybe I should disappear with quote. His quote to me, Denise, was, he wrote this in an article about me. His style is a lot more aggressive and insulting than a lot of the other Q gurus. Michael Rothschild, a journalist who tracks the QAnon movement, told the Daily Beast, he seems like the really aggro guy yelling at the TV in the bar, except thousands of people share it immediately. So, I got Rothschild up my you-know-what too, Denise. So if I find POTUS on my journey to disappear for a minute, I'll let you know.
Maybe he has a room available at the place he's staying at now.
Oh,
we could camp out in.
He's going to be safe. Don't worry about that.
I hope so.
Yeah,
but that's all. I just wanted input on that, because it really did turn my stomach.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
When I heard that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'll leave you to your other callers. You've probably got a queue waiting
no
for the pair of you.
We love you, Denise. Thanks for
Thank you, Denise. I appreciate you calling in.
Thank you, Red. Right. Thank you, Tommy.
We'll talk to you soon.
Good night, hon.
Bye-bye. All right, great. Let's see. So, Real Red Pill Girlfriend is asking me to make sure that we talk about Wayfair, because you had a bombshell thread about that. We've got J-R-O-B. J-Rob, how are you?
Jackie, wait, I need to turn this actual
mute the stream. Mute the stream.
Sorry. Hold on. Okay, I'm cool. I'm collected. What's up?
All right. Well, we're glad to have you on the show. What's going on tonight?
Well, this is actually the first time I've tuned in to your Friday night live stream live.
Okay.
But yeah, oh my gosh, my heart's like beating. My whole family is like super red pilled except my dad.
Is he watching?
No, he's not. They're like drinking with their friends, which I should be doing, but I'm drinking with my internet friends.
Appreciate you staying in.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm so excited. Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, my brother is a huge fan of yours. He's actually the one who showed me you. So you can like hear my voice trembling because I'm like so nervous.
No, you're doing great. You're killing it.
You're keeping it together.
You're killing it.
If my friends are watching, I'm gonna need you guys to screen record this.
That's fine. Do you have anything you want us to say to your friends?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, all right.
Screw them, right, J-Rob? By the way, J-Rob, just so you know, I've learned this because I did a lot of public speaking in front of large venues. The only thing that matters is energy. It doesn't even matter what you're saying. I'd rather listen to someone with energy say nothing than someone with no energy say everything. So you're killing it on the energy front.
I am like freaking out right now. Yeah, no, my brother is watching for sure, so he's probably geeking out too. He's probably super high, like what?
What's your brother's name?
Jimmy.
What up, Jimmy?
Okay, and this is so cool. Well, what I wanted to say was actually, Tommy, your story is super cool about like starting in finances and stuff. Like my dad is in banking, and so he's very like anti, this whole Federal Reserve thing. He's like, yeah, right. Like you guys sound crazy. So I am definitely gonna listen to your podcast and, hopefully convince him to listen to it. He'll listen to anyone that'll talk about finances. So that's at least a step. But no, that's super cool. I'm actually in the process of like trying to figure out how to promote all this on Instagram and like turn all this stuff into content and like figure all that out. So any like tips on that would be welcome, because I feel like I got like the mom gang on my side. Like I'm not a mom, I'm an aunt, but like I got the girls in their 20s and 30s, like, you know, in ready to help. And so like the moms are going to be the ones to take these motherfuckers down. So.
Right, J-Rob, I actually said the same thing. It's funny because I only had about 7,000 Instagram followers when I was at 200,000 on Twitter. And because I got whacked on Twitter, I moved to Instagram, and I realized something along that process. You're actually dead on. This war, especially the election, is won through women. It is not won through echo chambers where we're talking to all Republicans on certain sites. Instagram is a gold mine, and I'm going to give you a couple names on Instagram to follow who absolutely destroy it. One is little.miss.patriot. Yes, she's
totally
incredible.
love her.
Become very good friends with her. Liz Crokin, obviously, you guys know. Little Wild Thing. Some of these guys are like Instagram models and girls who made their name being just pretty and having guys follow them and modeled and did all that stuff, who are now turning all their stories and highlights into.
Yeah, I saw that Colette Prime girl.
Yeah, they're awesome. So Little Wild Thing is a great one. There's so many on there that are doing it right now that are, and that's how this war is going to be won. And then my favorite one is the Rabbit Hole girl who I've become very good friends with. We're going to be doing a live shortly. Alex.Rosebets. She's the one it's Alexandra Rose. But yeah, this is how this war is going to be won, because if we can get the regular, especially these, you know, pretty Instagram girls that have hundreds of thousands of followers. I always say, if someone who's an Instagram model puts a message forth and it turns some guy that's following her off, that guy's still going to follow her the next day to hear the next message and the next message. Totally.
It's so funny that you say that. I had my guy friends over last night, and they were willing to listen. So I was just like telling them everything. And I was like, you guys need to just transform your social media into into the right people to follow, and you will be on top of everything. And I'm trying to like teach people that want to know more. I'm like, just transform your phone into the right notifications and you'll figure it out. And I was like, who do you guys follow on Instagram? Like, unfollow these dumbass meme pages that used to be funny to us that aren't funny anymore. And literally one of them's like, I pretty much just follow half naked chicks. So I'm like, okay.
Right.
Well,
that's what, so Jay, that's my area of specialties. I've specialized in half naked chicks for about 20 years. So this is mutually beneficial for me because I get to share their message and I get to speak to them personally. So just follow my account and I'll send you to all the half naked chicks that I follow.
There you go. Are you guys, because as far as I know, I don't know of you guys on Instagram at all, unless.
Yeah, Tommy G Patriot, and you're what, Red Pill News?
Red Pill 78 News.
Oh, you guys do have it. Okay, I'm sure I follow you. I just follow thousands. But I'm Bootleg Media with the _ at the end. BLM to get to meet people halfway on that one on the hashtags there.
Well, I just followed you, so you have a new follower. All right.
So
I don't have Instagram open, so.
Yeah, no way. So thanks for coming on, babe. You killed it. Good job.
Appreciate it.
Go Hawkeyes.
Great job. Say hi to your brother.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Good night. Thank you. All right, sweet. So yeah, we got to talk about Wayfair. You know, that's something that's kind of fallen to the wayside. I mean, has there been any new developments in that? Have you heard anything else?
So the Wayfair thing was pretty crazy, and the funny thing about the Wayfair thing, for those of you that don't know, I was kind of at the front of that, I guess. Like,
you could say you were at the tippy top of it.
Yeah, I was. To put it in perspective, my mom, who I try to shield most of this stuff from, who doesn't have social media, called me and was like, how come when I Googled Wayfair, because she got wind of it somehow, she's like, your name was the first name that popped up on Google. So I was leading the Google search on Wayfair, and there were a lot of curse-laden videos of me breaking stuff down. But yeah, I mean, it's stuff still popping up. They debunked it immediately. That was my first suspension recently when I got the 12-hour suspension because I attacked the reporter who debunked me. But his debunking was different than Instagram's debunking, because Instagram debunked me because the cabinets were industrial cabinets. That's why they were so expensive. And then this jerk Collins debunked me because he said it was a pricing glitch. And I'm like, you debunkers can't even get your shit together.
No.
So, like, who are you to debunk me when you can't? I spent 14 hours studying this. You spent 30 seconds debunking me and you can't even get your story right. But we know trafficking goes on these sites. We know it. I discovered a book on Wayfair that was a Falun Gong organ harvesting book that was photoshopped onto a bookshelf. Like, of all the books to Photoshop onto a bookshelf, like, why are those there? So there's something to it. They're going to bury it. But really, I mean, Zach, I'm still 100% believing that we got that stopped. And we got that stuff shut down, and you know, go Patriots, because it's not there as much anymore as it was.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. Now, the thing that you discovered, those books that had been photoshopped on, it wasn't only the Falun Gong book. I mean, there was every single book was disturbing in the context of what we were looking at. Yeah. And very, very strange for them to do. You know, I mean, I have staged scenes like that before. You know, I've photographed things like that for products and you know, for websites and stuff. And I've never seen the likes of that you know, put in there on purpose. So very, very odd. Caller, you're on the air. Can we get your name for the audience?
Yeah, hi Zach. It's Alan from Florida.
Alan, how are you, my friend?
What's up, Alan?
Good. I have a quick question. What do you think of H.A. Goodman's prediction about Hillary running?
Yeah. I mean, I'm an old H.A. Goodman viewer, so this is something he's been saying for a long time. And Tommy, I know a lot of people believe that Hillary's going to. Personally, I just do not see a Joe Biden making it all the way till November. And I think that every single day that he opens his mouth, it gets more and more likely that somebody else is going to have to step in there. What do you think about Hillary being the person to do that?
Well, if you followed me on Twitter months ago, some of you in the chat probably did. I posted a bet, Hillary plus 2,500 odds to be the Democratic nominee in April. And so if any of you even threw $10 on that, you're probably looking at a good take home if she does. I have about $1,000 on it to pull in 25,000. So I'm rooting for Biden to be the nominee. I don't care if it's Hillary, not worried about her either. But I already have a bet in on that. I have a large amount of money on not Biden plus 800. What that means is 8-1. So whatever you bet, you win 8 times. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I have the tweets and the screenshots to show from a few months ago. So I'm with you. I think something's got to give. They can't put that guy on a debate stage. That's for damn sure. Especially if he keeps talking about all this black stuff, screwing up everything.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Alan, what do you think?
I think it's going to be switched out.
Yeah. You think it's going to be Hillary, though?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
They're saying Hillary and Obama, Michelle, but I doubt it. She's got so much baggage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Michelle even, or Mike, as I refer to her.
Big Mike.
I don't think
Mike, right.
Yeah, I don't think Mike wants it, honestly. I don't think it's her, and I don't think she'd be VP. I think if she ever did, she'd
go to prison too.
Yeah, she'd want to top the ticket. So I could see, if you want a total, there's got to be a reason why they haven't officially announced Biden's VP yet, right? Like, everyone knows it's Kamala Harris. So why haven't you announced it unless you're worried about pulling Biden, and then maybe you don't want Kamala and Hillary? I would not be floored, and this is coming way out of left field, but I would not be floored to see a Hillary Bill Gates ticket.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Which would
that's
be
interesting.
Literally, I mean, I would not. Or he's going to be a big role somehow. They're going to make him something big, but imagine that thing pops up, that 2-headed dragon lizard beast.
Bill Gates for Supreme Court with Hillary as president.
Yeah.
All right. Alan, thanks for your call, brother. I appreciate it. Great question.
Thanks, guys. Great show.
Yep. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right, great. Now, just everybody, just so we're clear, there's no way we're going to be able to get to all these people. Every time somebody jumps off, at least 1 or 2 more people jump on. So I'm picking people at random from the list. So just be patient, guys. If we get to you, we get to you. If not, I appreciate you calling in anyways. And, you know, we're here every Friday and Saturday night. So, caller, you're on the air. Can we get your name?
Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl. Make sure that your stream in the background is muted. But welcome to the broadcast. What's your question for Tommy?
Well, it's not really a question.
Okay. Well, what's your comment?
Sorry about that. I've been wanting to do this for a while now, and I just want to say to both of you and everybody that's out there doing these shows online, I have been totally impressed, and it gives me a lot of faith that there are so many good people out there yet working diligently to bring about something that has been way overdue. One of my comments is, there's so much energy going into the online communication, which has created a huge phenomenon. My comment about this is, when are we going to be physically doing something about this?
Probably when I show up at Jack's house in October. But no, in all seriousness, Jack's the guy that owns Twitter. Believe it or not, just to give you some solace, that was one of the missions of the new site, which they're attacking. But I'm in communication with Ian Smith, who got the Belmar gym shut down, who's fought it. Guy Madden, the Viking-looking guy from Australia. Aubrey Huff, former Major League Baseball player, very alpha. So I have I shouldn't even probably be saying this yet, but we're basically putting together like an alpha day where we're going to find big, bad, intimidating dudes, and everyone will be welcome, but we're going to lead the charge in each city with some big, bad dudes, because we need to start, showing some force. Right. I don't want to say anything that can get me in trouble, but we need to start letting these people know. You take your little Antifa soy boys out there, but we're coming in with some guys that ride Harleys with goatees and tattoos and tank tops that are 6'4". I've talked to a bunch of MMA fighters, so I'm actually working on something right now. It's not going to be a 1 month thing, but it's going to be a day or two where we storm the Capitol, put it that way, and it's going to be national. It's going to be all over. It's probably going to be around October when we can make the biggest impact, closest to the election, because the news cycle is so short. But I think we do need to focus on October being a time when we start hitting the streets hard, because in this current news cycle, anything we do right now in August will mean nothing come October from a March perspective. But once October hits, if we can't do rallies and Trump can't have rallies and all this, we'll create our own rallies and we'll just storm the streets. So I'm with you.
I agree with you there, Tommy. The thing about it is, I would argue it's already starting to happen. I mean, it's just not being covered in the news. We saw that people, were protesting in LA. They went right up into CNN headquarters, multiple Save the Children rallies all across the country. And the reason that we don't know about it is because no one is going to cover it, and somebody has to send me footage of it in order for me to put it up, because I'm not there physically. So, but I mean, what were you going to say?
I'm glad to hear this, because we are in a position where we're doing the talk, but we're not doing the walk. And if it's up to the people to boot those that are supposedly in charge, they need to be called on the carpet. And they haven't been accountable for everything that they're doing. And if it's going to be up to the people, we're really going to have to rally together.
And that's,
so I'm glad to hear that somebody is finally organizing something, because I'm thinking, if everything goes down and we don't have our open communication like we have right now online, what are we going to do? We're going to have to create groups in every city or town or whatever we can to keep this movement going.
Yeah.
So we need to be prepared for, the next move here. And I think we've been sitting on the wayside waiting and waiting for something else to move this into the next direction. So I'm thrilled to hear that you guys are up to so many good things.
Yeah, the big thing
I
about
appreciate
this,
it.
the big thing about this online movement is, luckily, I've been blessed to be in a situation where I know a lot of 500,000 follower accounts. I mean, one of the girls that I speak to frequently has 4.7 million followers.
Oh, wow.
There are a lot of people with a lot of big following. So it's in the works. It is something that we kind of want to rally everyone and wake everyone up online, and then we can start storming the streets once they do.
Sounds good.
The influencers are the key, because you get one of these 500,000 follower Instagram girls to say, hey guys, let's hit the street, and they'll go running with their pants off onto the street. So
it's a great
I'll
point.
take care of the models and the meatheads, and you guys take care of the rest.
All you got to do is show up.
I'll bring the food.
Beautiful. We got to feed too.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks
Thank
so
you for
much.
I appreciate your call. Thank you so much.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Red October.
Awesome. Yeah, October is going to be the month. That's when it's going to have to happen, because you're very, very right about that stuff. There is a notoriously short attention span, and if Oh, Pixel 3. That is amazing. Waiting to connect to audio. Thank you so much. Oh, man. Real quick, just want to see if there's anybody else I got to say.
Try finishing that train of thought.
It's done. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank God I didn't smoke weed before this show. I'd have ran out of this interview like, Dylan in a conservative rally.
Let me say thank you to Steve, Kimberly, Dog Collar Fancy, Veronica, Christy, Kathy, Dennis, Eunice, Deborah, Cindy, and Leah. Also, William. William is it's pending still, but I'll have a new microphone within days, you guys. I just gotta find a place where I can purchase one.
The subtle head turning here, Zach. I know you were reading.
It's a little unsettling.
The subtle head turning is just. I mean, I'm literally. I don't get scared of anything. I'm a little bit nervous right now.
Pixel, thank you for calling. What's going on, man? We have no sound. Are you? I don't even know if you're
without. Yeah,
I don't know if you mean to talk or if this is just showing up. This is just meant to be unsettling. Pixel, do you come in peace? Yeah. Okay. Do you plan on talking, or are you just here for the comic relief? No talking?
I think that was a no.
No talking? Okay. All right. Take it off. Go ahead and talk. That's great. Oh, dude, that was so funny. All right. So
it's scarier.
It says that your mic is on, but give us a sound check. Hello? No audio. There's no audio coming through. In the lower left-hand corner, there's the microphone in the Zoom, and there's an arrow next to it. If you click that arrow, it'll come up, and then you can change it to whatever microphone you want it to be on.
To Mac or
that was great. That was great.
The mute thing, right? He's looking at a Zoom too.
Yeah.
Is he calling on Zoom?
Maria says Pixel is cute. What's your info?
Pixel, you're already getting some digits on here, bro. So Pixel, go to you see the mute button on the left, bottom left. You see the mute button?
Bottom left. The Zoom
you see
window.
the arrow next to it? Click that arrow. You don't have an arrow next to it?
No arrow next to the mute button. Okay, now it says that you are muted. Now I'm asking you to unmute.
So now unmute.
Testing. Say something. Yeah, nothing. No audio. Man. ASL. Mars for Trump.
That's how you might.
Genius, bro. Genius. You did good. You did good.
The sign. Good thing you had the sign ready.
Yeah.
We love you, bro. You're the man.
I don't know. Thanks for trying, though. Thanks. I appreciate everything. You got another one? You got another sign? Nanu. All right. Thanks, Pixel.
How does it go? What is this?
Oh, well, this is from Star Trek.
Hold on.
You got to do the two. This is what the Vulcans do. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Thanks for calling. Appreciate you. Thank you. That was great. That was awesome. Oh, man. Okay, so we're my buddy, we're going to go for Maureen first. We'll bring in Maureen, see what she's got to say. Am I muted again, you guys? Can you hear me? me?
I can.
Okay, all right. Maureen, you're on the air. How are you?
Yeah.
Make sure that the stream is muted in the background so that you're hearing my voice through the application. What's your question for Tommy, or what's your comment?
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, you made it. You're here.
God. So I'm a lurker, and I've been following the Q movement and all kinds of conspiracy things behind the scenes for, I don't know, the past 3.5 years. And so I feel like I know you guys, but I've been just watching on my phone, just watching on the computer. And so it's like, I don't know. I'm also nervous, so I have to kind of collect myself.
Well, you look great and you sound great. So don't worry about that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I wrote some things down. Just okay. I got the lurker part.
Check.
Crush that part.
I'm in Brooklyn. I'm in New York City.
Ooh.
And so it's been extremely challenging to be part of the Q movement and to support Trump here.
Sure.
I feel like it's not uncommon to just hear people bashing him pretty much every day.
Mm-hmm.
And when I try to bring it up to my friends or anybody else, it's like I'm immediately seen as racist and stupid. And so it's gotten to the point where I'm in this huge city, but I feel very alone in my thinking.
Yep.
And so I turn to you guys and I look at the chat, and there's a few people in my life. I think ironically, some families have been brought a little bit closer together because of conspiracies. So like at one point when my dad was a Republican and I felt like I was a total liberal, and then I started waking up, it's kind of interesting how we've come back together. Mm-hmm. So I think that's interesting. And then the other things I wanted to thank you guys for was your humor, because I feel like this stuff is so heavy and it's so upsetting that when I'm reading about these like disgusting people and then you make me laugh out loud, I feel like, okay, I can somehow process this. So
Absolutely.
I just want to thank you guys for like keeping it real in that end.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's more so just gratitude that I'm calling in with.
Well, I'll accept it. I mean, thank you. I have gratitude for you watching. I really do appreciate it. Tommy, what, man, so you are in the New York area, right, Tommy?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Maureen, if you want to get a drink, just hit me up.
There you go.
They would be let down if I didn't hit on you. You're too cute. So.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I'll accept that.
But yeah, no, I know being in that area because I not only have friends in Brooklyn, but I'm in Jersey. So it's the same libtards left and right everywhere. And as someone who has gone through this, I didn't always have a social media following and all that kind of stuff when I was trying to talk to people about conspiracy theories and stuff like that. And the one thing I will tell you, which I've learned over time, is that initially there's hate, always. Initially there's you're crazy, there's hate, you feel alone, you feel on an island. And then what you'll start to realize is if you're the first person in your little neighborhood or community or group of friends, and you seem well-spoken, you seem like you're well-researched, you've been following this for a while, it's pretty easy to wake these dummies up. And you'll start to see people just start coming out of the woodworks. And what you'll start to understand is I'd rather have 2 or 3 people who think like me than 40 surrounding me who don't. And you'll take solace in those 2 or 3, and then you guys will start to grow and grow. And it sounds trite and annoying to say that it's a process, more like a frog in a pot than just, adopting this community. But you have all of us, and I promise you, once you start vocalizing it and come out of the shadows, no pun intended, once you start vocalizing it, you will see people follow you, and you will be amazed how many people, and it may not be hundreds, it may be 4, but there's people in your circle right now who think like you do. They just need someone to come out first. I promise you, you're going to start seeing it.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people like me who are just to give, I'm sure you guys have thought of this, but just to give you a little more hope is that there's probably tens of thousands of people that are just like me that are just watching.
Mm-hmm. Millions.
And so that silent majority is so big. And so I just want to be like, hey, here's someone that doesn't even really identify with a party and is like, a yoga teacher and living in hipster Brooklyn who's like all about Q. So that exists. Like that's happening.
I guarantee you, if I know it's scary, but I've had a lot of my friends do this. The second you start posting a couple things on your social media and start coming out with it, especially if you own your own business. I don't know if you work for someone else where you'd have to worry because it's a very liberal industry. I know and have dated a lot of, girls in the yoga industry. One of my favorites, actually, but very flexible. But no, what I will tell you is, as you start to come out, you will see other people join you in this, and you'll have a home. So the only thing I would tell you is, as long as you're not going to lose your job, I'm not going to tell you to put your livelihood and leave that to guys like us. But if you feel comfortable in your job and your security, F those friends that hate you for what you think, because they're not going to be around anyway, because there's a civil war about to happen.
Yeah.
You're going to lose them anyway. You might as well put it out there, be first, and you'll watch strangers just start gravitating you, and do a little meetup group in Brooklyn once you get a few people. And next thing you know, by October, you'll have a little army behind you.
Yeah, Maureen, as somebody who lives in a very blue area, there is something liberating about publicly proclaiming, your feelings about the president, your politics and your stance on things. I lost all of my clients. I lost all of my friends at that time. I had people say some really nasty things to me, but it's what led me to start making this show and connecting with people online, and then eventually connecting with other people in the real world. And it allowed me to open up. There was a burden that was lifted because I didn't have to pretend all the time. I didn't have to walk around, wearing like the wolf in sheep's clothing. Except it was the Republican and Democrats' clothing. So it really helped, and I think that once you break that ice and you venture out, then you will feel a lot better about it. And Tommy's right; you're going to meet people who feel the same way, and I bet that it will be more people than you think. Even though Brooklyn would be a dangerous place to to put a Trump sign in your apartment window or something.
There's no MAGA hats around here.
No, but you know what? They're there. They're just not wearing them. They're just under the water. So, but thanks for calling in, Rick.
Yeah. Thanks, Maureen. Yep. Appreciate you. Thank you for breaking the your lurker rule. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'll see ya. Out of shadows.
Yep, out of the shadows. Good stuff. Great call. All right, let's see. We're going with a phone this time. All right, caller, you're on the air. Can we get your name?
Yeah, how you doing? This is Aegis Warrior.
What's up, brother? How are you?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, I'm doing great, Red Pill. Thanks for taking this call. It's what they say, a long-time watcher, first-time caller.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to have you on the line. What's going on tonight?
Well, I've been hearing a lot about who Tommy G was, and I never knew. So watching the broadcast tonight, I was just really blown away with you, Tommy. What a fantastic testimony you have there. And, I'm up here in Jersey myself. Here in Utah County, there's not as many Republicans up here so much. Trying to find someone with a MAGA hat up here is like trying to find a peaceful protester in Portland. Tough. So, but we were thinking about having a MAGA rally up here.
Mm-hmm.
And it sure be great if you signed on.
Yeah, listen, we need to, and the thing I keep saying, I've been asked to a bunch. I want to be at all of them. I want to, push and be a part of everything, especially anything close to home. The thing for me is I'm personally trying to give it a month. I don't want to, no pun intended, close your ears, Red Pill, so I don't offend you or your listeners. I don't want to shoot our load too early, right? So I think to start with a small group, rally it up, get it together. I'm down. The best way to get to me is to either DM my company, which is 4 Deep Media, or the podcast, which is No Mercy Podcast, and just shoot the information over. My whole crew on the podcast is all New York and New Jersey, pretty much, outside of my cousin from Tennessee. So yeah, I think we need to start doing these things all over the place, and 100%, I'd love to go. I'm going to be basically looking at October as like Tommy G hits the streets.
Like October surprise. For them out here.
But yeah, start them now.
Okay,
let's start building it. Let's start building them now, and then we can build a monster one come September, October.
Yeah, and I have been doing that, and I've been trying to get a hold of some key people in the movement, and I didn't even know where you were from until tonight.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, you're a local hero here. So definitely like to bring you on.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. So, let's do it for sure. What's your
I'll contact you now, and I'll look forward to your show with Jordan as well.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, if you want to give your handle out publicly, you can. If not, you could shoot it to Zach, and he can get it to me. But,
I can do that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks again, man. Red Pill, just keep it going, man. Would love you.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you watching. Jersey crew in the house. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, now take care.
Appreciate your work.
I accidentally hit report, not remove. Sorry. Okay. I don't want to block anybody.
He just reported him to the
Oh,
feds.
that's great. Listen, Tommy, it's that's a good thing that he just brought up there, because I mean, I've been thinking about doing some kind of like in-person thing, like, you know, we like travel someplace, we do a podcast on stage, maybe, you know, actually meet people, get them to come out, you know, everybody hangs out. My friend Dana, today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Dana. I don't think he's listening because he actually had an event tonight at his town in Michigan. I want to say it's Sparta, Michigan, something like that. But you know, I mean, this was kind of his test run to do something like this, and he's been wanting to put together something. But I know it's difficult. You know, I mean, everybody has their own gigs that they're doing individually. But I think that if we planned far enough out, and if we could, you know, maybe figure out how to get enough people there, I think that it would be something that'd be very successful.
Well, one of my partners, by the way, guys, I should tell you, I know I mentioned it a couple times, but head now over to 4deep.com.
Yep.
And put your email address there in, again, because I could be wiped off the internet, and you know, Zach might be my only outlet to talk to.
How did this happen?
Oh, Jesus. But go to 4deep, go to 4deep.com. One of my business partners is actually in the live events game, and we're going to be throwing a big event coming up soon too, and we're all going to be involved. So
all right.
You're back, bro.
Scott, make sure the stream is muted in the background. Do an
Scott,
audio.
Can we hear you?
Yeah, test. I don't hear anything. I hear something coming through, so I feel like you're just not talking.
You're back, bro. Scott.
No, we're hearing ourselves.
Can we hear you? Yeah, test.
Mute the stream. Mute the stream.
I don't hear anything.
Yes, all right. So
mute the stream.
All right.
Mute the stream.
So I feel like you're just not talking.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So
mute the stream. Mute the stream. Mute the stream. Go to the YouTube window and turn the volume down on the YouTube.
Got it.
All right, I'm muting him. I'm muting him. No, I just muted him. I muted him so we'd stop getting the feedback. Okay, so you have to go to the window where you're watching the stream.
Yeah, go to. I'll walk you through it.
You did it? Did you do it?
You did it. Sorry, turn it back on. Let's see.
You have to unmute now.
You have to unmute your mic now in the bottom left corner.
Ask to unmute. Lower left-hand corner.
Bottom left corner of the black screen, the Zoom screen.
Yeah, make sure you have your Zoom window pulled up. Zoom the application.
Scott is my new favorite.
I don't even know how this happened. No, you can't find it now?
All right, so go to the screen. Go to the screen.
Hey, here you are. You're here.
I got it.
There we go.
Praise Jesus. Good stuff. Good stuff.
HCQ.
HCQ. All right. So, first question, Scott. Are you wearing the costume and carrying the signs out like on the street? Are you going to events and doing this, or did you make this special for tonight?
Not special for tonight, but
still
you can see behind me, I got a little something going on. I got my green screen set up.
Right on.
I got my little piano over here with my Trump sign.
Sweet.
And this is really like my new passion. My business has been like devastated.
Mm-hmm.
I am a performer. I'm a musician.
Yep.
And I'm emotional because 5 months.
Yeah.
Like almost half a year, right?
Yeah.
And I have no prospects coming up. Nobody's booking anything.
Yeah.
And I look at myself in the mirror and I say, what am I now? You know, like everything is gone that I had built over the last 11 years here in North Jersey. So I said, you know what I am? I'm a patriot. That's all. It's simple. It's simple. I got to look myself in the mirror every day and say, for my family and for everybody I know and for the whole world, I truly believe that Trump is going to save us. And if there's anything I can do to help get the message out, I got to do it. So this is like all brand new. I got this goofy green screen thing, and I'm trying like all different stuff to try to get the information out.
Mm.
So let me ask you.
How can we find you?
Hold on. You're in North Jersey, you said, Scott?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to give you a job. All right, with us. I can't promise you what you're going to make or what you're going to do, but your energy's fucking insane. You live close. You got a green screen. So I promise you right now, you will have some sort of paying gig with me. And again, I can't promise you what it'll be. We got to talk more, but what's the best way to get his information, Zach?
Well, I mean, how do you want Tommy to get a hold of you? I mean, you can send me an email.
Don't give your number or anything out over
Send me an
stream.
email right now, redpill78 at protonmail.com. Put, you know, Scott the Alien in the subject, so I know it's you. Give me all your information, and I'll send it right on to Tommy. Make sure you do it as soon as we get off the line here, okay?
Cool. Let's grab a drink. I could not sympathize with your situation more, as someone who just went through something similar, giving up his whole life's work. I'm probably in a little better position, right? You seem like this has been pretty crushing, so I got your back.
Thank you, man.
And we'll go grab a drink. We'll talk about this. Just keep your fucking head up. Keep doing what you're doing. Your energy's awesome. Your passion is awesome. I don't know what we're gonna do with you, but I'm gonna do something with you, and we're gonna do this together. All right, brother?
Scott, Michael Kenny in the chat says, ask him if he would come to King of Prussia for a birthday party with the alien suit. Whatever.
Sure.
Either
way.
Listen,
we may just send you on the street in an alien suit, just converting people over to the movement.
Do you got a channel? Do you got something you want a social media? Tell people how to find you.
Yeah. So just 2 nights ago, I put out a video of the alien with the Mars for Trump, and I was trying to get a little traction. But my Instagram is my Twitter is cbelieve88. Seeing is believing. So it's at cbelieve88. And you know,
at SEE?
SEE, yep.
Believe.
I joined Twitter just to follow Trump, and all of a sudden I'm learning about all this stuff. And my wife and I mean, nobody in my family talks to me. I can sympathize with so many of the callers, you know.
Yeah.
Like I tried to warn people that the cocoa was coming, you know, because you know, I had heard it sort of through internet stuff I was following, and people treated me like I was crazy, and people still don't even talk to me, even though now it's 5 months going, and you know, like I feel like I'm just yelling into the abyss. And when I found Red Pill 78, your information was so specific. You always had sauce to back it up. I've turned you on, turned so many of my friends on to you and your channel.
Thanks, bro.
Man, it's great. And Tommy G, as soon as I heard that you were from this area and I saw you were on tonight, I was like, I got to get on. So, alien costume. I didn't want to show my face.
2 times in one night.
No, don't worry.
You were meant to. You were meant to.
I'm scared to show my face. You know, I don't want people to know I support Trump. And so I was going to wear the mask, but then you couldn't hear me. So I'm like,
you know, the first thing we're going to do with you, we're going to turn you on to Instagram, because you are built for videos and Instagram. So you have an Instagram yet?
Not one.
Okay.
Not one.
So there's this Twitter account. I mean, I won't say any more than this, but I think you should follow back the Twitter account. Can't be canceled. It's a new account today, and I think you should follow it back. I think he has something to speak to you in direct messages about. So I'll let him know that you're messaging him now. Wink, wink.
Wow, man.
I
It's
just
meant to be that I get on twice. How lucky am I?
Oh yeah, no, it's unheard of. That's unheard of. I just followed you on Twitter as well. I just retweeted you. Everybody on Twitter, go follow Seeing is Believing. It's the most recent tweet on my timeline. Listen, brother, I am so happy that you were able to get through. I hope that Tommy is able to help you, and just know that we love you. Know that you are not alone. This is a community, and this is one of the main reasons why I continue to do this, because I love having the ability to bring all these people together and let them know that, you know, we are looking at the future here, and we got to be here for each other.
Yeah, and follow that Can't Be Canceled. Follow that right now and send it.
Can't be canceled.
All right,
I'll check that out.
I'll get
all
right
right
to it.
Scott, thank you for your call, brother.
Scott, we love you, bro. Keep your head up.
Where we go on, we go all, guys.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you soon. Mars for Trump. Love it. Love it. All right, Tommy, you mind if we do a little bit of overdrive? Since let's take a couple more calls.
Can I go grab a drink?
You go ahead and go grab a drink. Yes. Oh my gosh, Gucci Mane. Is it Gucci Mane or is it Gucci's clone? Gucci, are you there? Testing. Gucci, can you hear me? Gucci. I see you, but I'm not hearing you. Gucci. Hello, Gucci. Can you hear me, Gucci? You got to make sure that you close YouTube,
yes,
Gucci.
Sir.
Okay, make sure you close YouTube, because if YouTube is open on your phone, then it's going to override the Zoom, and you're not going to hear us through Zoom.
My bad.
Yeah, no problem.
You can hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. We're on sync. So what's going on? I was just saying Gucci. Is it going to be Gucci, or is it going to be Gucci Mane's clone? But what's going on tonight?
No, man, you're killing it, man. You and Tommy are killing it, bro. You guys are. What happened to Tommy?
He's right here.
I'm back. It's just on delay.
Yeah,
I'll be back in a minute. Brother, got to go get my drink, Gooch. If you were coming up.
Brother, you're the man. Keep doing what you're doing. We behind you. I was gonna say, if you need any sound design for, I know the podcast lost the beat or the song last time. So if you need any music, sound design, whatever you need, brother.
100%.
Free of charge.
Bro, I appreciate you, man. I can't. That's awesome. Yeah, shoot. DM anyone who has any, and this is for you too, Gooch. Anyone who has anything involving the podcast. We basically are producing it on our own right now. We're doing everything on our own with it. We were top 10 in the category for the last 3 months, which is insane, on our own. So anyone who knows anything about sound, video, memes, anything for social media. So Gooch, just DM at No Mercy Podcast on Twitter. You got a Twitter account?
I got the Twitter, but what about Instagram? I know that's your new jam.
Instagram, go, because mine gets flooded on the gram because I got 100,000 people. Hit the at No Mercy Pod, because my brother checks that, the bod. So he checks that every day, and I check that too. So DM that.
You got to take it easy on your brother, but don't though.
Nah, man, I've been busting his ass his whole life.
That's the best part. But no, I didn't have no questions, brother. I just want to give you guys your roses, man, for what you guys do, really.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Gucci. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for calling in, man.
Anytime, brother.
All right, peace. Keep listening. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye. Awesome. Great stuff. All right, my buddy Floyd Standifer IV said, thank you for helping out with the channel. If you guys haven't subscribed to him yet, he's Due Diligence on YouTube, and at some point I will be doing an interview with Floyd. Let's see, we're going with Kirsten next. Kirsten is coming on the line. Kirsten, how's it going? We're just waiting for your microphone to get connected. And here is the email from Scott. I'll go ahead and just... Oh, man, this is... It's not really Scott. It's Neeb, my buddy Neeb. Okay, Neeb. All right, all right. Good to hear from you, brother. Glad you're out there. Kirsten, are you there?
Kirsten was there. I don't know if her mic was working.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's bring in somebody else while we're waiting. Josh. And hopefully Kirsten will get her microphone sorted out. Looks like Josh Daniels is on the line. Josh is going to be joining us in just a moment once he realizes that he's made it to the podcast. Got to wait for your audio, Josh. But are you there, Josh?
Pause this real quick.
There you go.
No problem. No problem. What's going on, Josh?
Hear me?
Yep, I can hear you just fine.
Dude, I can't believe I got on. Tommy G, you were like, I mean, we've never met in real life, but I listen to your show all the time. I'm a huge fan.
Oh, I appreciate that, man.
I wanted to let you know, in the spirit of what was going on tonight, I've got a lot of experience with web design, with web development, with running marketing campaigns, and I wanted to offer that, free of charge as well. I know you're planning to do big things with 4 Deep, and I know how difficult that can be for, a project management of that size. I know how that is. I've probably built over 100 websites and just want to offer my services there.
I really appreciate that, brother. Yeah, like I said, man, anyone, I want this to be, kind of FUBU, no pun intended, for us, by us, right? So anyone who wants to get involved, anyone who wants to be a part of it. I mean, like I said, me and Zach have talked in depth. The first thing I said to Zach when he asked me to be on his show a month ago was, you got a home with me no matter what happens. If they take you off YouTube, if they take you off anywhere, that's what I want this to be. And I want us all to work for each other, support each other. And the love I've gotten from you guys and the opportunity, I can't promise everyone the world, but I promise I'll do the best I can to give everyone a home. And, it's a lot of love coming from you guys, and I really appreciate it. So I really appreciate that. And anyone who wants to reach out and help, the DMs are open at 4 Deep Media. Let us know, and we'll make it happen the best we can. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, man. I work on websites that, businesses that are making 100 mil,
Wow.
I've got the chops. Awesome. I've been doing design for 15 years. Awesome. I run marketing budgets through Google AdWords that are 1.2 million a year. I mean, you know, I can really help you guys out, and I don't want anything in return. I just
don't. That all figures itself out. I don't let anyone do anything for free. But
no, for me, it's like it's the metaphor of the glass of salt water.
That's where I'm
right?
at.
There's too much salt in the glass. I need to put more water in there.
Yeah, bro, that's where I'm at. Like everyone's been asking me, like Josh, like why? I mean, I could easily run ads on my podcast. You know, like I could just throw it. For me, it's like I needed a cleanse. You know, like, because I know I'm starting a business. I know we're going to have things people could buy, and we need to make money or we can't keep the message going, just like Zach needs to make money on his show. We can't keep the lights on. But I figured I wanted to do a good 4 months of just showing the community as the guy with the blue check mark coming in with the loud mouth that, listen, I'm going to do this straight grassroots, not make $1. I'm not going to run an ad. I'm not going to start a Patreon. I didn't even do a YouTube page, and I've had a page set up for 3 months. Just because I wanted to leave that for Zach and all the other guys who've been doing this and grinding. And, you know, so, you know.
Well, it shows, man, but I think you should have given Janice the points for you dying.
Yeah, she should have. She got 6 for it, I think. I think I gave her like 9 points. For those of you that don't know, Zach, we did a coronavirus death draft. We did a celebrity death draft on the No Mercy podcast because I'm a fantasy football guy.
Yeah.
So me, my cousin, Janet, and my brother, we did 12 rounds of who's going to get COVID back in March. And I built a scoring system, 6 points if they get COVID, 12 points if they die, 9 points if they get arrested, 2 points if they disappear. So we have this whole tracking system. So Janet, my co-host, picked me in the draft, but the government was going to kill me. So when I got the chase letter that I was dead, she wanted
was sick, right?
Points. Yeah, I mean, dude, she got like 7 points off me already. So
oh man.
When the letter came in the mail, I mean, not to make
Josh,
light of that.
hit up the handles. Let them know. Go right in there. I'll let Kurt know. Like, let's talk.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'd just send you a carrier pigeon. I don't know how to get in touch with you.
Send me a raven, bro. I'm a Game of Thrones guy. Send me a raven. I'll be looking out my window.
Yeah. So what should I do? Should I hit up 4 Deep Media?
Yeah. So if you guys like, real quick, just to run it through for everyone out there, because I'm sure a lot of you have a lot of different skills. I don't want to kill Zach's show with a lot of job stuff, because I'm going to be putting out texts and we're going to have an email for it and everything on the site. First thing, go to 4deepmedia.com, sign up, put your email in, so that way we have it. And then it's at 4Deep Media, the number 4 Deep Media on all social media platforms. There's not a lot of followers on it. The DMs are wide open. We're checking them constantly. And then at No Mercy Podcast. Those are the 2 that you'll get the quickest access to us until we get the site front facing. And then we're going to have a whole monster.com, whoever wants to work, put it out there. But yeah, 4Deep Media is the place to go. But I appreciate you, Josh, for putting that out there.
Yeah, man. I'll send you my info, and then let's get on the phone and
100%.
talk about how we can make it work.
I'm down, 100%.
All right. Thank you guys so much. It's been
Appreciate
a pleasure.
you coming on.
Thanks for the call, Josh. Talk to you soon, brother.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if Kirsten's got her mic working. Kirsten, I still don't see a microphone. Are you having trouble? Is it not working? Yeah, it looks like it's not working. Kirsten, thank
Kirsten,
you.
You look beautiful, if that counts. You're doing a good job making the stream look better. That's helping us at least.
I don't know if you can hear us or not, but yeah. No audio,
Kirsten,
no audio.
Does she need the bottom left to hit the mute?
No, there's just no microphone at all. Looks like she's on her phone, so I don't know why there's no microphone. No, can't hear you. No audio. No audio. All right, but thank you for trying. Mwah. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. All right, let's see. Who else do we got? We're going to go with Anon. One of the Anons. A Anon. Let's see. Anon, you're on the line. Just wait. Oh, that microphone's on. What's up, brother? How you doing tonight?
Boys, I'm doing really great. Hey, this is the first time I've tuned into your podcast live. This is pretty bitchin'. I'm really thankful for what you guys are doing. Tommy G, that Wayfair shit was fire. I actually found you recently through Amazing Polly, believe it or not. Super cool what you guys are doing. I just wanted to call in and just share a little bit of insight. I'm a little nervous because I've been 100% lurking for the whole Q movement. I wound up finding Q through a website called Above Top Secret, where they were kind of shitting on the Q movement, right? So when it was still on, I think, 4chan and all this stuff. So I started digging. I always was like a free thinker with an inquisitive mind, all this. I always questioned everything. First generation American, my family came from communist Poland and fled Poland in the 60s. So you guys can bet that I have a whole full heart of patriotism.
Absolutely.
But I just wanted to share the power of prayer. I am a small business owner in a red state, and COVID absolutely decimated my business. I've worked my ass off to try and grow this thing. I had 100,000 in gross revenue last year, owner operator, doing just the grind, limited debt, almost zero leverage. Everything was beautiful. COVID decimated it, and I didn't know what to do. I had nobody. It was just me, right?
Yeah.
And so I've always been a Christian guy. Grew up Catholic. I mean, we always know what the Vatican is up to. So I've kind of distanced myself with the Vatican and all this, but just started praying like double time, and kept my nose to the grind. Everything kind of just was chumming along, really doom and gloom kind of stuff. And, then I hear about some things, some grant opportunities, and I feel like my prayer was answered there. I got this grant opportunity through my state, luckily, that helped me out. And then I got this opportunity that fell in my lap. A company had moved here. I kind of want to try and still stay a little anonymous, just because I work in an industry that is dominated by people on the left, and my friends dub me a daywalker.
Somebody said that about me the other day.
Dude, I'm telling you, the daywalker shit is so real. I mean, I had a customer, on a quick side note to tangent, tell me before COVID that he hated Trump so much to my face that he wished the economy tanked.
Isn't that disgusting?
They all do.
To get him out of office.
Yep.
And no bullshit, a few months later, COVID happens, right? And I couldn't wrap my head. I mean, that's one example of many, right? So this company moves here. I have this website up. I had to take it down to try and, get my fixed costs and variable costs all under control just to stay afloat, even with this grant. And I signed an NDA with these people. It is one of the biggest opportunities that could potentially propel my company into an unimaginable position.
Wow.
And I just have to tell all the patriots, everybody involved in the movement, that the power of prayer is so real. It is so insane. I'm seeing so many positive things with people. I lurk on Twitter hard. You go to that bot site that tells you if you're like what status your account is.
Yeah.
And I'm almost to like their code word problematic. It's hilarious. I love it. Well, I'm doing my job, right?
Yeah.
I'm just like one of the little guys. I don't really care about the followers or anything like that. If people found out any semblance of me having any affinity for Trump or being conservative, I'd be cancel culture. 100%. In fact, to show you another story of where people are and where your allegiances lie, I dated a woman recently who left because I wouldn't fall along with the narrative of the BLM shit. And all I did was simply challenge the Marxism and the message and the data and everything. I absolutely support all patriots. It doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter. But anyway, nonetheless, just the power of prayer. I pray every night. I have since I was a little kid, and I feel like, Tommy, you mentioned this with the emotionally draining aspect. I feel like I've been beaten down nonstop my whole life, just because the color of my skin as of late these last 4 years. There's open blue check marks that call for our genocide, and that's okay. I would never ever wish that on my worst enemy. And it's wild. But the power of prayer is so real, and it's so amazing that we have people like you guys on the front lines that are willing to put your faces out there, that are willing to put your reputations on the line. And Tommy, that story about you with like balling and gave it all up, that's huge, man. Like, I'm not trying to ball out of control. I'm a simple man. I live in a small town. I love it the way it is. I fled California 17 years ago, and that's
I fled California 8 years ago. I lived out there too.
Man, and it's so amazing to see what you patriots are doing. It's absolutely lovely. The power of prayer. If I could ask one question, I know I've kind of been on my time. Trump mentioned HCQ, right? Early on. So you know what I did? Quinine, zinc, baby. Let's go. Since day one, I get my daily dose of quinine. Let's go.
An ounce of prevention.
Whatever. I'm healthy as shit. But what are your thoughts on this craziness where now the left, it's your body, their choice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolute madness to me, but Tommy.
No, Zach, kick it first.
Well, you know, I mean, what's so ironic about it is that obviously the argument for choice, you know, Planned Parenthood, you know, oh, it's my body, my choice. But now as soon as it comes up for other people in another situation, well, no longer. You don't get the opportunity to choose. You're going to have to wear a mask. You're going to take whatever medicine we tell you that you're going to have to take. You don't get to see your friends and family. You've got to completely isolate and destroy your business. And if you speak out about it, then we're going to destroy you. So yes, I think it is total madness. You know, I mean, I'm not willing to live like that anymore. Maybe at one time in the past, I mean, I believe that I did. I was afraid to speak up and to say who I was and how I believed. And, you know, I mean, I completely can relate to the idea of losing your business if you speak out about, you know, who you support. I mean, that actually happened to me. And I did it naively, thinking that there was no way that was going to happen. But I couldn't believe how quickly everybody pulled their websites off my server. You know, but once it did, you know, it set me free. Now, I'm not asking you to do that. But you know, I would suggest that you get your contract signed, get yourself an ironclad agreement, and then consider starting to drop little red pills. And then you never know who's going to agree with you.
Yeah, I'll tell you, as someone who, I mean, I've worked for liberal radio station. When I started at Sirius XM, it was all liberals at the top. And my industry, the daily fantasy and gambling world, you'd be shocked that it's all liberals. It's all millennial, libtard, soy boys and everything. And I've always been a little different just because when you've been to the depths of hell that I've been to, like, cancel culture, really? You're gonna take my social media? Like, fuck off. So like, oh, you're gonna take my company? Like, I built 7, I'll build an 8th, you know, like, so that's why I say, like, I think I'm more built for it, and I don't expect anyone else to sacrifice their living, sacrifice their company. What I will tell you, the same way that you prayed to the Lord and your prayers were granted, I will tell you that I had, you know, my come to Jesus moment where I realized, you know what, I had all the money. I had all the, like I said, I was driving $100,000. I mean, I still drive an $85,000 car, but I was driving $100,000 cars with a $20,000 watch, living big with the places, traveling to Vegas. You know, multiple times I'd spend 10, 15 grand at a club on a night. Wow. You know, like, that was my life, and I was fucking empty. And that's what woke me up, where I was just like, this is fucking nothing. This girl means nothing. This club means nothing. This Rolex means nothing. And finally, I just snapped about a year ago and said, fuck it. And I have not made $1, and I am happier now than I've ever been in my life. And I've found God. I've found better friends. I've found a community. I've found a home. So for those of you afraid to kind of give it all up and go all in, as someone who's done it multiple, I'm telling you, really, what is the money for? What is the job for? It's all for happiness, right? It's all for love. Like, we talk about, like, that's what we do it for, right? So cut out the middleman. Just go right to the love and the passion. And as long as, like I said, I'm not as Christian as everyone else. I'm not as big of a believer as everyone else. But since I've kind of found God and found a purpose and found a reason for existing, which I feel like for the first time I have, I'm happier than a fucking pig in shit. And this is the first time I can tell you I'm fucking broke right now compared to how I usually live. And I've never been fucking happier. And it's, you know, so just don't be afraid. Don't be stupid. I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. I don't have a family. So I could be a little more rogue, kamikaze, but just trust it, man.
I think that's where some of my freedom lies. It's just me right now, just rolling, just nose to the grind. It's like, you know, it's all I can really do at this point. But I'm telling you, that power of prayer, man, I've got fingers crossed, some big things coming, and I'm really hopeful that we survive this nonsense until the election, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah,
but
I know a lot of.
I'll let some other people get in here, boys. I really appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you for your call, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, and by the way, I see some people saying,
cursing,
Use the F word. Listen, I promised Zach till midnight. He had me till midnight. The second this gets poured, And by the way, going forward, I'll never lose the F word. Maybe at some point, but that's me. That's part of me. That's never going to stop. So accept me for who I am. And this is the problem. So, Zach, I gave you till midnight. No,
I appreciate it. I appreciate you going as long as you did. All right, we got 7 more minutes, and then I got to get these dogs out on the road. I know Tommy's got stuff to do. Caller, you're on the air. Can we get your name?
Yeah, this is Liberty.
Liberty, welcome to the program. What's going on tonight?
Hey, Zach, I want to say thanks. You guys, you do a great job.
Thank you.
Your channel has a great foundation to it, and it's very appreciated. It seems stable, and it's great. Tommy, I heard your talk tonight. Awesome and inspiring. You definitely have a humble spirit, and I feel like that the Holy Spirit's going to lead you in directions that's going to really be incredible for you.
Appreciate it.
But my main point of calling tonight is I wanted to go directly to what the president said yesterday at his meeting, at his speech in Ohio, where he talked about how he created the executive order that really is bringing down the prices of drugs for us in our country, and how he made a lot of the rich pharmaceutical folks angry.
Mm-hmm.
And that he said that he would not be seen for a while. I think this is a big deal.
I agree.
Because I don't think we understand the power of these pharmaceutical companies. And I want to jump right in and I want us to talk about the drug Truvada. Truvada is a prophylactic for the HIV disease.
Yes,
that came out, they started using as a prophylactic maybe 3 years ago. What's interesting is that Truvada is made by Gilead. Okay? Gilead just happens to be the company that is making the new drug for the China virus.
Remdesivir?
Very interesting. Yeah, Remdesivir. So isn't that interesting how
that is
a virus, they want you to take a drug to prevent getting a virus, Truvada, and then all of a sudden today, when this China virus comes to our land, all of a sudden the same pharmaceutical company is making Remdesivir. Very interesting. And it's very expensive while we're suppressing the hydroxychloroquine.
Mm-hmm.
Very questionable. At the same time, while the president when he said yesterday at the Ohio speech where he said that we might not see him for a while, that to me was very, very strange, and him saying that pharmaceutical folks are angry.
Not only that, Liberty, but did you happen to notice the detail that was with him? I saw some pictures online, and it looked like he had a much heavier presence of people guarding him there, not just your standard Secret Service agents.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I think it took me such aback that I didn't quite know how to think about it. But one thing I do know is that we have to listen very carefully to what the president says, because he is telling us so many bits of information if we will listen. Many times he might joke or may say things that seem off the cuff, but he is really steering us in a direction if we will pay attention.
Yeah.
The enemy of the people media takes that and they twist it.
Mm-hmm.
But if we, as folks that are awake and in tune to, and I call it discernment, I call it the spiritual discernment.
Absolutely.
We have to listen to what he says, because these things because I was telling a great friend of mine that lives in Hawaii, and I told him a year ago, I said, the president he was talking about bringing a cure to HIV over a year or two ago. In his rallies, he would say, there's a cure coming for HIV. And I told my friend then, I said, you know what? You wait and see, mark my word, during, if not this year, his next term, the cure to HIV will come out.
Mm-hmm.
But he also said that he was going to get rid of, this has been months ago, maybe last year, he was talking about ending the payroll tax. And I told my friend that I talked to a lot about this kind of stuff, and I said, President's going to bring about the tax payroll cut today during the press conference. What did he say? He said, I am getting rid of the payroll tax. Whether Pelosi and Schumer want to go along or not, I'm doing it. He said it. And if we pay attention to these little bombs, I call that he drops, or these nuggets of truth, If we pay attention to that, we know a lot what he's going to do.
Absolutely.
And that, to me, it's amazing what he's saying. And I don't want to go on any longer, but I want to say that the common thread about all this is that with the drugs is that they want to say, take it to protect yourself from the virus.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my contention is that the cure already exists.
Yep.
Because how does it, the Truvada and the remdesivir is made by the same company? That's very interesting to me. And I'll let your listeners decide and discern and research for themselves about that.
Well, you're right on, Liberty. Thank you very much for your call.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon, brother. Thank you. God bless.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, awesome. Well, you guys, we are at the end of this broadcast. Before we go, I got to give all these thank yous. Janet, thank you so much. Steven, Cynthia, Roxanne, Samuel, Jody, Gino, the Spicy Conservative, and Timothy Vincent. Thank you, all of you, for these very generous donations. I really appreciate it. You know, I never ask because I know that everybody is hurting. So the very fact that you guys are willing to help out and make sure that I'm able to stay on the air, it means a lot. Tommy, tell everybody once again how they can find you, and I'm going to give you the last word.
I don't deserve the last word, but just want to thank all you guys. This was fun. I'm going to be honest with you real quick, and thank you, Zach, and thank you, everyone here. I wasn't having a great week this week. Like I was, a lot of demons coming at me, and I've been reaching out to a lot of people like Zach and CJ and Inevitable and Jordan, and getting a little bit of an attack as a gladiator, and this helped. This was therapeutic on my side too. So hopefully you guys got something out of it. My approach is never going to be widely accepted amongst especially those of you who are much better people than I am. I am not here to be someone that's looked up to at all. I'm here to be your nuke. I am the nuclear weapon that you launch at these people. And, you know, hopefully you can see through some of the, even in my Wayfair videos and all that, some of the cursing, some of the rawness. That's just who I am. That's just where I am. That's how I'm bred. I'm a warrior. I'm a gladiator. I'm here in the front lines for you guys. So hopefully it doesn't offend you too much. I'm never going to change. So that's just who I am, but appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And this helped a lot for me personally today. I'm excited. I'm remotivated. I'm ready to attack tomorrow and get back at this. No Mercy podcast. You guys can check that. Most of you know that. 4deep.com. Check that out. Tommy G Patriot on Instagram and Parler. And then there's this new handle, which obviously isn't mine because I'm banned. So I'm not allowed there. So I obviously can't be me. But Can't Be Canceled on Twitter is the new handle. So love all you guys. Appreciate the time. That's it, man. This was awesome, Zach. I really appreciate you having me on, brother.
Brother, it is my pleasure. It's an honor to have you here. I love you just the way you are, and I'm looking forward to not only continuing the fight, but the next time you're going to be on the show, because it's not going to be too soon. Definitely before the election again. All right, you guys. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much to everybody who donated. Thank you to the mods for keeping the chat comfy. Thank you to everybody who left a like and shared it. Please leave a like on your way out. Good luck, everyone, and God bless. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 p.m.